Welcome everybody. How is everybody doing today? Hopefully you guys can all hear everything. Audio check for everybody in chat. Can you hear them? Dems, Turbo, Chubb, say hello so we can see how our audio is today.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Turbo.
I am.
Yo, Belku, thank you for that follow, everybody. I believe if the noise is, if it sounds good, everything's good. Welcome everybody to the second episode of BMad Blackmire After Dark. First off, I'd like to thank Dems and Turbo for coming in on our second episode. Pretty exciting.
No problem. Good to be here. Good to be here, everybody.
We have another co-host today. Chubbs is here, and then behind the scenes we have Tony. Everyone put hearts Anthony in chat because he's doing everything in chat, and AD's here as well. Hopefully not as bad as he was last time.
No, I'm sober this time.
He's sober this time. So Dems, remember what we were talking about beforehand? ADD did it last time. He got so bad he didn't talk the entire show.
It's true.
Yo, Sal, thank you for the 5 gifted subs, my man. I appreciate you, brother. So again, everybody, be mad. If you're asking yourself, what is this? First time being here. This is a talk show where, kind of like an after dark show, where we talk about Atlas. Right now we are in pre-season conversation. In the future, it'll be during season conversation of things that happen, things that are going on. Dems and Turbo have been in the community for how long, you guys?
I've been in since 3.0.
3.0 Turbo?
3.5-ish, bro. But I was like, just kind of, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just playing in the sand for the first season or two.
Yeah. Nice. And if I'm not mistaken, chat, this is a big deal. This is the first time Turbo has showed his face to like a lot of people.
Outside of OnlyFans, this is the first time, dude. I've only ever been like a more explicit platform thus far.
Yeah,
That's true.
We pulled in an OnlyFans content creator, chat. This is a big deal for us. But at the same time, we'd like to thank today's sponsor, Turbo's OnlyFans.
50% off for all nightly subscribers for sure. Turbo Cock, check it out. Kidding.
Trippy
If
says
you find an OnlyFans name that's not me.
Trippy says, I've been subbed to the OnlyFans for a while now.
Believe it.
So basically, chat, your options to ask these gentlemen questions are here. There's periodically throughout the show, Tony, the best mod ever, will be posting a Discord link where you can go in, and if you give yourself the BMad link in our Discord, you can ask questions, and at one point of the show through our segment, we will read those questions, and they will answer your questions, and so will we if you have questions for us or both of them. All right, so the first off I'm going to say is welcome. Also, chat, one thing I did forget, in the title of the stream below you is the links to both of these guys' Twitches. If you want to go there and hit a follow, hit a subscribe, helps everybody out a lot.
Appreciate it.
Dems is going to be streaming, I'm sure, like a crap ton during 6.0, right? Turbo?
Yep.
You open
I'll stream at least twice, maybe even 3 times.
You heard it here, chat. 3 times during all of 6.0, you will get a Turbo stream.
It's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
I do want to stream a bit more, but we'll see how my internet holds up. I just moved up into the mountains in the middle of nowhere, bro. So my internet is now something called a gateway. And so I have like a whopping 50 megs, 50 Mbps. That's it.
Which is,
Are you talking like the ones where it's like a beam satellite that kind of like shoots off until?
Nah, I wish it was that cool.
Like a
Nah, this is way cheaper. Way cheaper.
way cheaper. Which is
tin cans. Yeah.
I don't know why this is this way, so forgive me.
Why? What way?
For some reason, I wasn't following this channel.
Oh, everybody. Hey, man. It's okay. It's okay. There's
so
people...
you know all those conversations about they hate each other and the strong arm segment. We're like, no. Now
I thought
now
I was already. It is awkward because I could have swore that like I've been following.
And look, and Cyber. I've been chirping Cyber for 3 years, and he just subscribed for the first time too. So.
That's crazy. I followed you as soon as I knew you existed.
I appreciate you, Turbo. You know, everyone always thought the hate was between us and you because of the whole, 4.0, which we'll talk about, I'm sure. Right. But really, Dems just hates us in general. He didn't even follow.
I don't. I promise. I blame marijuana.
I blame marijuana. So the first thing I'm going to ask you guys to do so that everyone gets to know you is one at a time. Whoever wants to go first can. Is your very first roleplay experience being Atlas or not Atlas? how did you dive into role play in general, and what made you stick to it as long as you have?
Turbo, you want me to go first?
Either way, bro. Either way.
All right. My first time role playing, basically it's with a game that I still hold dear to my heart, but you know, it's like kind of janky, but it's Conan. I did some I think it was one server and I got banned for dipping my junk in some woman's well or whatever. It was funny as shit. But yeah, it was yeah.
Monster Mouse says she also dipped her junk in some woman's well. She says, "Me too, me too."
It's fun, you know. You got to stay clean out there in the woods. But no, I did that, and then I did some Atlas on Twitch, and then that's whenever I started hearing about everybody like, oh, we're going to the dark waters, we're going to the dark waters. And at the time, like, you know, I was fairly still brand new to role play and learning how to do it, you know, because like I've always been able to do these voices and shit like that. And you know, I was watching Mr. Moon a lot, and he got me into doing the role play, and like I was like, man, because like I'd go back and I'd watch his YouTube videos and like the movies that they would make, like with the games that they were playing. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get me a PC and I'm gonna try doing this too. So I did that. Never started making videos, but I'd be damned if the role play didn't like just suck me in like a damn succubus.
I still would like to think that Mr. Moon's RP is just like on a tier of its own level. Like some of the things that he does is just
pretty good.
So good.
God tier. It's God tier.
Absolutely.
It's unbelievable.
Turbo?
I was like sweating everywhere, right? I was playing Black Desert, I was playing Conan, I was playing Atlas, I was playing everything.
The PvP
but
grind.
very sweatily, right? I adored it. It was great. A few friends of mine were like, hey, we're gonna play on Dark Side, and it's like Atlas, but like different. And I'm like, sure. Right. And it took me a while to get a hang of it. But next thing I know, they made me captain of the Navy, and then I had to cut down some people named Blackmire on their boat, dude. So I told them no deal. I'm kidding.
This guy.
Kidding.
Stabs in early.
That was my first time RP.
We'll get
I got into it. I got into Atlas RP initially, right? That was my first go around, right? 100%. I only loosely understood what I was doing, right? I thought it was pretty hilarious, right? My tag at the time, Turbo Cleave, right? I'm like, I need a name for my character. I'll just put Turbo in quotations, and I'll make my last name Cleveson. Turbo Cleave, son, right? And I thought it was hilarious, dude.
Wow, reference.
Yeah, 100%. And then, like, just from there, I went on to Conan, right? And I got banned right off of Solution server for a lot of things.
Dipping your nuts into some woman's well. Like, is this the
Well,
common thing?
Similar.
It was
Similar.
confusing. I led a band of very sweaty shitlords onto Solution server, and they did a lot of shit, dude. That ultimately was my fault as well for having let him do it. So it was like, okay, it's a bad time.
I was a part of that group.
Duncan was there. He was one of the worst defenders.
I don't know.
There was not a well untainted.
I'm gonna say this. We are attempted to get Solutions on the show, and we can ask him live if you want.
Sure, we can.
Why did you?
I mean,
No.
I know what I was banned. Yeah. They banned me for NVO. I got killed by friendly fire by one of our dudes on a wolf. At the time, I didn't think friendly fire counted for NVO, right?
Yeah.
And it had been at the point where I had so many rabble rousers under me that was like my first like offense, and they're like, ban him, right? Mostly just to get rid of everyone else, right? It's one of those things. Politics.
My story for Conan is probably one of the worst / funniest. This community loves it so much. So I joined Conan RP after 4.0, after Turbo cut me down. I was sad in a lonely place, and I went to Conan to seek refuge, and then a girl messaged me and said like, hey, can we say we had sex last night? And I uninstalled Conan the fastest way possible.
I think that story was longer.
It was a little longer, but
there's a few more things. That
you get the whole community that I'm surrounded by.
I want to hear more to this.
You want to? I think everyone does. Is that right, chat? Yeah, I think so.
So basically, like, I came across a tavern, and like this person would like randomly text me and say, or message me and be like, hey, did you see I went to bed with my shirt off last night? And I'd be like, yeah, sure. Because like I don't do relationship RP, let alone like like ERP, right? Even though I'm in the red light district right now.
I do it all the time.
All the time. You heard that right. Strong arm.
Ladies, hit me up.
Ladies, hey man, you know where to find them? The front of Trippy's boat. Am I right?
Yeah.
They're always
They're all
there.
Trippy's boat.
They're always there, dude.
Always.
But yeah, so
Yeah,
basically
motherfucker.
that was and this whole community the whole time sits here and goes, every once in a while we'll be talking about, as soon as someone brings up Conan, they're like, hey Jay, can we say we had sex last night? I'm like, you guys can fuck off, man. So you guys started then, and then you guys hit Atlas. So you guys sounded like you both hit Atlas kind of early on in the role play kind of experiences. And well, have you dabbled in GTA or Conan or Red Dead? What keeps bringing you back to Atlas? What about Atlas is making you keep coming back season after season compared to staying on like a GTA server like a lot of other people or a Red Dead server?
Well, like, here's the thing. GTA to me is, trying to say, GTA to me, I'll hit it hard for like a good couple of months and I'll just do nothing but grinding. But then whenever it comes down to like, actually trying to insert yourself into somebody's story, it's kind of hard. So like, I kind of like veer off from it.
Because you had a biker gang for a while on there, right?
Well, I was a part of Black Lotus on New Day.
Yeah.
And that was good. And then Atlas came, and then by the time I came back, it was just so many new faces, which was great for them. But for me, it was like, okay, I've been, basically I role played that I went sailing across the world, trying to find myself, blah, blah, came back, and it was just, I don't know, it was just different for me. So I never really could hold on to a GTA server for long enough. Red Dead was good, but all that stuff is more like bar, tavern, parking lot RP.
Mm-hmm.
And that for me, like, is cool and all, but I think what really brings me back to Atlas is the true fight of getting into a ship and a whole crew versus another crew.
And the fact that and the fact that you grinded, not necessarily the word grinded, but you helped make that ship from your own hands, right? Like
exactly.
All your hard work leads to being on a ship, and then all of a sudden you get into this ship fight, and you're like, man, like on official Turbo. Well, no, I don't know if you played official Dems, but on official, it really sucked to lose a ship that you grinded for, especially if it was blueprinted, because of how long it took to grind resources and to get blueprints on official, right? Those days.
Yeah.
Duncan's never farmed, bro. Don't let him lie to you over there, dude. That's crazy, dude.
Look, one thing that's crazy about my characters, I don't farm, nor do I do reports at all. I don't do any paperwork.
You just
even
wake
when I
up
was a
and you're
captain,
there, bro. You're just there.
Even when I was a captain in the Navy, God bless my lieutenants. Wolfie could tell you, and Danger, if he's in here, could tell you. God bless you guys for doing them fucking reports for me, because without y'all, I wouldn't have been able to remain a captain. So, hats off to you.
Thanks, Safiro, by the way. Turbo, well, reason you keep coming back to Atlas other than cutting down pirate companies near the end of seasons?
Initially that was the allure, right? Right. There, right. You played like official and other survival games where the allure is the stakes, right? You have indeed farmed 10 hours, 20, 40, 100 for this kit, for this boat, for this spear, whatever it is. There's always something you're putting on the line, right? Just this extra little something, right? When it comes to roleplay, be it Atlas, Conan, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead, anywhere really, you've invested way more, right? Yeah. If I think of like my biggest base, my biggest whatever, couple 100 hours, right? Big grind. If I think of an Atlas character, right? If someone were to capture my old Navy captain and kill him, bro, that dude just beheaded like 1,000 hours of gameplay. And the allure of that to me was so heavy and still is so heavy. I love how high the stakes are. I love how more intense and how much more interesting everything is because of how much time you've invested. Because everything matters a bit more now that this character has all these, fingers in all these pots. And there is nothing more beautiful to me than destroying the ever-living shit out of something wonderful you made.
You must have loved
and
Rust.
making it again.
You must have loved Rust. Did you play a lot of Rust?
I never played Rust. Rust.
Dude. What you just
the epitome of that game.
Yeah, what you just described as your like enjoyment world is like Rust to a T.
We'll show you after this
Rust.
Yeah, you grind a lot, and then people just take it away from you, man.
I like putting the stakes up, right? And if I win them or I lose them, either way, right? I don't gamble at all, like in real life. But in RP, I'll gamble every day, all night, dude, no problem. It's about the gamble. It's about the higher stakes investment for me. Everything's more interesting. There's a story to everything. Nothing happened without a reason. It's fabulous. It's fabulous.
Nice. All right, so another question. Chat, just so you guys know, I'm going to jump over to you guys for a quick second, answer a few things. Yes, Raveneth, I think he could do 50 backflips in the back room. Fat Dem says sorry for lying to you that it starts at 9:30. It's all good. By the way, guys, periodically through the show, Dem Killa's merch is being linked. If you guys want to get some dope Dem Killa's merch, like the toque. I'm Canadian. I call it a toque, not a beanie, that he's currently wearing.
Oh, it's so good. It's so warm, even though it's summer. But hey, it's about to be winter, fuckers.
Yeah.
So that little invitation he sent out earlier with all of those women saying, "Hit me up." He can keep you warm at night if you go to this store right here in chat.
There you go.
It's got some beautiful merch.
We also just added on a strong arm hat.
Oh, bro, I want one.
Oh shit!
I think I want one. I'm gonna wear it.
If you can prove in character through creative roleplay that you own one, we will let you off with a warning instead of attacking your ship.
True. That's true.
That's amazing. That's awesome. I'm thinking I need to wear one, and I'm gonna have it sit right here on my desk so that the moment we start to fight you guys, I'm gonna grab it, just fucking put it on my head,
Put it on.
start fighting you guys.
All right, it's a free broadside. It's a free broadside. You go ahead.
I'm gonna yell over. I found one of your strong arm hats. Give me a free broadside.
Oh, good times.
That would be fun. That would be hilarious. So another random. So let's just I can keep going with questions. If you two ever have questions for like Chubbs and us, or like the Blackmire crew, we're all here listening.
I also have a few questions already from chat for these guys.
All right, go ahead, Chubbs. Do your thing. Are you?
Excuse me. We got a question from Gabrietta. What do y'all think about how it went with both our companies in 5.5, and did you like it? She's referring to
the whole
Unlisted Strong Arm thing.
The drama.
The drama. That, like everybody like hating us. I'll let Turbo take this one first, and then I'll follow up.
Oh yeah.
Is this from the perspective of like Nightly in your crew, or
I think the question basically is just how did you enjoy the way 5.5 went with the drama between our two companies? Technically, to be honest, it wasn't even our two companies. It was the drama with the whole server and you guys, and then us kind of being there like, yeah, fuck these guys, man. You know what I mean? Like, I think from that general sense,
Y'all were the ones in the background going, "Yeah, fuck them up."
And the follow-up question to this was, how much actual OOC heat did you get from people? Because I've heard some stories. And it's just out of curiosity if you actually had to deal with that shenanigans or not. And by the way, we like you. Anyway, go ahead.
I think initially, the first interaction we had with Nightly's crew out at sea was that like, oh, we're strong arm, we're the best. You guys just watch what we can do. And that was the first night we lost any ships in front of Nightly's crew.
and we actually saved a few of you. And
and you rescued a group of our crew, brought them home, right? And I thought, wow, the beginning of a beautiful relationship right here. Here we were, covered in hubris and arrogance, right? And they still lent us a hand. That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
I remember saying in character like,
and spit
really
on
cool.
pictures of us, dude. I'm kidding. But a lot of that role play surrounding the rumors and the I guess it's like what would you call it? It was like a propaganda campaign against Strongman, right? It was sort of what it was, right? Kind of.
And the crazy part about the propaganda thing, and people, I said it last episode too, is that people didn't realize that 90% of that propaganda was us, right? Because we control the hardtack times, so anything in the hardtack times was us.
What are you talking about?
Right, which nobody really knew until like the very end of the season. So like any smear case in the hardtack times, that was like, oh, they're taxing everybody. They're saying F you to the Navy. We're like, yeah, write that shit.
I can't remember, but like I want to say like, didn't we start getting clues about that shit at the end, Turbo? Like we
did, but it was through some very not great. You could say low quality role play be the healthiest way to address it. Some other companies have some OOC issues that erupted into IC issues on our front door. Admins contacted us and were like, just turn that down a little bit, on what you're hearing there. And I'm like, we'll just ignore it happened at all. Like, all good. Right.
We told the whole crew, and they had like the conversation every
And
minute.
then after we told them, never mind, just kidding. It was a dream.
It was like a MIB when they pull out that thing. And
Yeah, they're like, hey, you know that information that you're gonna love?
yeah.
Never happened.
But in character, dealing with that, right? Up to that point, before the big reveal, the falsified reveal, whatever. We had a lot of interactions with a lot of groups overall. And while the hardtack times and the propaganda hit us, like, it was like a constant like thing.
Yeah.
What was more like concerning, right, would be that certain groups would. There was one very good example with, I think it was Blue Shield Trading or Blue Lion Trading, something like that, where we went over there and we're like, hey, there were pirates by your island. And we ended up with a contract with them to kind of patrol their waters and handle that stuff. And so we passed that contract to a Red Network subcontractor, right? Because that's, corporate RP, that's kind of exactly what we do. And at some point in time, we pulled in hot because like a black sail ship was behind their island, like doing stuff. Like, hey, there's a fucking boat back there. We pulled in hot, bro. Right. And like 20 dudes get off the boat and we're like walking around, right? Like, hey, it could be pirates around. You got to be careful. And they're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you threatening us? And like the situation was like, whoa, bro. You hired us, right? We're here. There's pirates there. And like, I don't know anything about that, this or that. And the rumor was that we threatened to kill Blue Shield from there. Right, because we were saying, like, you guys aren't collaborating with pirates, are you? They're like, no, of course not, because if you were, right, there's a big old penalty from the Navy for those people. You could end up hung, right? We were like warning them, but like spicily warning them for sure. We were warning them with some spice, right? They're like, hey, you could end up fucking hung and dead on this block right here, right now, if you're working with those pirates back there. You better tell me what's going on, right? And they're like, no, nothing's happening. And like it came back that we had threatened to kill Blue Shield and we were gonna fucking run their port red with their blood. And we came back to talk about it and they were gone. The Navy went to investigate and the Blue Shield company that had said Strong Arm's going to kill us all help was gone. And nowhere to be seen, just an abandoned build, no ships.
Just a hard.
So it looked,
didn't they set it up to where it looked like we literally went in there and wiped
it looked like we killed them all. It looked exactly like exactly that's what happened. Like,
I wish we
no.
would have thought of that.
Yeah. It ended up we got super lucky though. That same night that happened, we had a Navy lieutenant or like a Navy NCO on our boat listening in, just watching it all happen. She was out of uniform, just watching. One of the privateer office ladies. Yeah, D'Artagnan. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we love D'Artagnan over here.
And that's why we got exonerated of everything. It's like, yeah, I mean, I saw it happen, bro. It was pretty like standard.
And like what was crazy is that like we literally pulled up to their port to cancel the contract because we had, they wanted us to patrol their waters because they said that they were getting attacked by pirates or anybody that was coming in and out. So basically we hired another I think it was two other companies to come in, but they couldn't, we can't ask people in RP to stay out in one sector all damn day.
Yeah.
Because that's not fun for nobody.
Yeah.
And so the legit reason was, it was just like Turbo said, we were trying to be that corporate entity that like gave when somebody would just come to us and say, oh, I need this, and be like, well, hey, I know somebody's close to you. Let me send them there to you so they can help you and they can get paid. All we ask is like a hookup fee. That's it. Like I think it was like a 5 silver.
Just to pay pay the postage for the sloop.
Yep. And but anyway, so we pulled up and I was like, so they weren't happy that we couldn't get somebody out there 24/7. And I remember thinking, I was like, let's just cancel the contract, because we had already heard that they were already talking shit, and then when we go to talk to them about it, they're like, no, everything's fine. I don't know what you're talking about. But then I was like, look,
in role play, man.
yeah. But I was like, look, at this time, I'm sorry, but we're gonna cancel this contract. Of course, it was in character, so I said, hey, at this time, we're going to cancel contract. Sorry, fuck you. And they were like, okay, whatever. Yeah, well, sorry, blah, 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 blah. Next day, like, that's when all the rumors started. It was fucking crazy.
And there was like the taxing thing, right? We only ever threatened to tax one company, it was Riptide. And they had this habit, right? We didn't want it to be a habit, and it happened once, right? And then twice. And we're like, all right, bro, if you keep bringing pirates literally into our port, we're going to tax you. What do you mean you're going to tax us? The Navy said we could tax anyone in our waters. You're in our waters dragging pirates to our door. We're taking your pirate bounty for these pirates. Like that's ours now, right? And we're going to tax you on top of that, right? And you're going to like it. And Riptide's going to pay for it.
I think it's crazy, and I think Chubb's gonna agree to me here. to hear the other side
Oh
of,
yeah,
of what happened, because
way
like
different.
because like you guys are going through this on this side, and then we're having privateer companies run to us saying like, these strong arm guys, man, they're doing this, and like obviously, like I know you guys, we knew you guys when you guys were Navy, but like role plays coming to us, I'm not gonna not feed off of that stuff. I'm not gonna be like, what you're saying is bullshit, man, get the fuck out of my water. I'm like, yeah, they're doing that, all right, man, the flag's going up, fuck strong arm. You know what I mean?
See, like the thing
And we
is,
just
like,
rolled with it.
and you got to realize too, at this time, it was under our assumption that we were going to be able to buy the grid
Mhm.
or something, or either like I think it was like
Yeah,
govern
they
the
had told
grid.
us you could
Oh,
be the mayor
yeah.
of the whole governor, the
Yeah,
governor
and so
of the whole
we had
grid.
already filled out our
Adrian.
paperwork, and they said that it was like a sure thing. Like, hey, like yeah, this is more than likely going to be yours if you just get everybody to agree. There was only one other company that lived in our grid at that time.
Yeah.
And so it was a trading company. They were really cool. But so we thought that we were under the impression that, so I'm the governor of this grid, because I'm on the face, Turbo is the brains. And so basically we thought we could tag somebody. And whenever they brought in a couple of pirate ships, and then we're like, hey, help us fight them. And then like I think one time too, we missed out on any of the diving loot on one ship, and they just
It had been one
scavenged
fight
it
at
or
sea,
something.
and then the second time it was like they sailed into our port, turning on defenses and everything. Like, there's another one. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess here we come. Like,
I mean, I think I can't speak for my whole company, but the majority of them, if people kept pulling people into our port, I think we would have dealt with it probably in the same manner. We wouldn't have taxed them as privateers, but I would have been like, yo, fuck off.
Well, especially whenever it happened the second time, we're like, okay, like, look, it kind of feels like a pattern, So that's why we did what we did.
Did it feel just kind of like that they were running there? They may have gotten a little over their head, and they're just looking for a support in the fight, or was it just like
I don't know. Which I know you got some of their group here, but I don't know if it was like I don't know. I don't know if they were trying to intentionally do it or if they just didn't have enough people.
Yeah.
Or whatever, but that's I mean, which all that's cool and all. I'm not upset at all.
Yeah.
It's just the way the RP went toward it was like, okay, why are they doing this? Like, why haven't they come and talk to us about it? You know, like what's going on? Do you not have enough people? Blah blah blah. Because
from our standpoint, extremely different. Like how Knightley was saying, we had I think Blue Shield Trading Company was the one that came up and told us that
they were first.
Yeah, they were the first ones, and it was this whole shindig. I ate it up because I was like, oh, we got a bad guy.
It gave us like a free purpose to hunt you guys, right? In general,
for real.
But like the craziest part is everything was hearsay. And I'm gonna bring it back to you guys here because it was all hearsay. Like this guy, like they're doing this, they're doing that. Like, yeah, all right, this company sounds like shitheads, but we haven't met them. And then the first night we meet you, there was a guy on your ship who I know it was jokingly said that if you sink a pirate in our grid, we will tax you. And we're like, it's all true. It's all true. and then you guys.
That was the nail in the coffin.
And then you guys got
Turbo, does that not sound like something fucking Archie would have done? It sounds like an Archie thing.
I'm just that right there. We ran with it. We're like, okay, it's obviously true. And then we had Riptide come in, and we're like, they're doing this and this, and we're like, that's it. And then we went and tried to do like our legal way with Sahara Jackal from chat. She was doing all this documentation. We were trying to get like
we wanted a first court case
legal
on
action towards you guys, and have a fun court case, but
didn't happen.
Didn't happen. They told us to go fuck ourselves. So we had
I think
Tony.
It was Ven's actual statement. You can tell them to go fuck themselves. And then we were like,
fuck it, raise the black.
We're going black.
Damn, he said that. Yeah,
so he didn't say he didn't. So
no. It was like
they had a high command meeting, and then we watched the clip later after the whole incident happened in game, when we decided to go black, and he was basically like role playing, like, we can look into strong arm. We've looked into strong arm, but you can basically tell them all their demands are like, because like Sahara was demanding payment to the people that you guys wronged, and it was like an outrageous amount. We wanted him to say no. Like it was like 150 gold or 100 gold per person that you would have to pay in like damages. And then Ven was like, we ain't fucking paying 100 gold. You tell them to fuck themselves. And as soon as he did that, we're like, the only way we can fight this red network is to go Black Sands.
Gotta fight for the people, I guess, and go after these horrible dudes that are taxing.
You know, and
I loved it. It turned into one of our, I think, my personal opinion, one of my favorite stories that we've ever done on Dark Side.
Yep, absolutely.
Was that one.
There was a night, that we had sailed out and we went to the west, I think. Anyway, we come across 5 pirate ships that night, Turbo, and we fucking sank 4 of them. And one of them was one of them had what's his name? Australian fella. He was with
a few Australians too.
J-Red Jared, I think. Is it
Wildfire?
J-Red?
Oh, J-Red. Yeah, he was
J-Red.
Yeah, okay, with the
Yeah, and we stole some cannons from them. We taxed them for the damages on our ship. They were pirates, so it was, like, hey.
No, that was Bernsey, bro. We did that to Bernsey. We took his cannons and some cookies, bro. We did. I guess we did it to a lot of people, honestly.
I think we did it twice that night, dude.
We did it a lot, dude.
That's good though, because like you guys were up to the north. Like our company is notorious for going away from like the main areas, right? Because we like to kind of we gradually kind of role play, and then we kind of do that natural build up as we go out through the season and stuff. And then like you guys were up in the heat of it, where all the privateers are, all the pirates. Like you guys remember 4.0? They're all like, what was it, F4 or whatever, right? Like there was a ton in F4 during that season. And then so we're gonna go back around here, and I'm gonna ask you guys what made you join the Navy, because most of our group has never played Navy.
Navy was when I first come into Dark Side too, and it was because my first time playing, like I worked my way all the way up to like, I want to say 3.5. I got captaincy like right before Turbo did, and it was just like, it was cool. It was basically what I always knew. And then and everybody's like, well, you should try pirate or either do privateer. I was like, nah, Navy's easier, because I'm a captain, they need me. So I was doing that for the longest time. And then eventually I was just like, you know what, it's time. And then Turbo had that idea. I was all for it, and then we made it happen.
You guys were definitely like, when we came into prominency, like into like, how Blackmire kind of came out of nowhere on 4.0. You guys were definitely the 2 captains that we looked out for when we were sailing. If we ever were to fight the Navy, most of the time we ran away from you guys just because it wasn't like, we don't really ever fight the Navy.
The old Turduncan, man, I'm telling you.
But
I don't know how it's to explain it other than magic.
Magic.
It's a beautiful thing,
And Turbo,
it's that synergy.
The synergy. Turbo, how you made it to Navy?
I was in this group that was supposed to go pirate initially, right? It's at this point I am the greenest role player you've ever met. I have no idea what I'm doing, right? I kind of hopped on the boat and away we went. But they all quit. They were all gonna go, and I think they got sunk by somebody at some point in time. And they're like, "Fuck this server, fuck this." And I'm like, "All right, bro, just drop me off at the Navy Island." I've seen some clips on Twitch. This will be cool, I think, maybe, right? Yeah, all right. I always want to try this. And I go, bro, and they drop me off on the trade port, and I end up sheriff of the trade port like the next day, right?
Dude, it was from there on. It was romance like, started brewing.
It was fantastic, right? Because like the sheriff thing was like, oh, there's a bring the sheriff. He knows who all the pirates are, and I just had like a book of pirates, right? Like, yeah, that's me. And so I ended up sailing with Duncan a lot, right, dude? And I joined it. He was a recruit. He was a sailor. I watched him go to midshipmate. They bumped me to LT because sheriff requires the LT jacket or whatever. But it was like a very meaningless promotion. It's just just like a thing. But at the time, Duke Shoot, the trade commodore, he was fabulous, dude. And like I didn't really know much about roleplay at all, right? But between him and Falcon and the crew there, fantastic role players, top tier, right? I just kind of watched them, and it took me a while, bro. I'll be, even despite that season and everything else, it still took me like a long time to really get into roleplay and get into the right mindset. But Navy was just kind of fabulous, right? And like by the end of that season, me and Duncan had made LT in operations, and we had been fucking mauled by every Nova Seda ship and all the pirate coalition ones, and it was rough, bro. Like the last 2 people sailing boats on the ocean, like captain characters, we were just LTs at the time, because everyone else had permit or left or stopped logging in. But we kept taking out patrols all the way to the end, dude. And it was brutal, but it was beautiful, dude. It was fantastic. I remember they did that season. Lazy General was singing a song as we left the island, dude. And I'm like, oh my god, dude, this was insane. This is great.
Very emotional.
Yeah, dude.
It's
And
a
so we came
beautiful
right on
thing.
back, dude.
I
Next
think,
season we started out strong, full captain,
Hell
and
yeah.
we just went ham.
I think
After the third one, though. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, you're good. You're good. I think like the biggest thing about the role play, especially like the way your guys' story is, it's like very similar in the sense of like Chubbs and Tony and like AD and I, how we all kind of met, right? Like it's when it clicks, right? And the biggest thing as a role player, like I was great 4.0. You can even hear me. There's clips of me in 4.0 where it's just my monotone voice going port side, shoot, 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 stop, starboard side, shoot, 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 shoot. Sales are like, you know what I mean, like stuff like that. And I was pretty new to Atlas roleplay at the time in 4.0, and like as soon as I met like to me, like meeting Chubbs, who like to me is like the man of many different voices, and like he's just like that kind of talent with the voice. And I was like, dude, man, like this is sick. And then like the hardest thing that it was to learn, and I think you guys can compare to this, is, and a lot of those guys, like the first company you were with, Turbo, that lost a ship and said, fuck this shit, I'm out. Like as soon as you realize losing a ship is like an addition to a story instead of like a lose in general terms, like a loss, like it makes your experience, especially on Atlas, man, like just far more superior when you're like, hey man, like Turbo and Duncan sunk us. Now I have a reason to fucking find these guys because they sunk my ship. You know what I mean? Or have like a little bit of vengeance when it comes to like that kind of stuff. So my other question I have for you two, is favorite season of Atlas.
Good question.
Oh man,
Favorite and
favorite
why?
season.
I would ask you your least favorite, but
I want to say 4.0 because that's when the Turduncan was really unleashed. You know, like because we had some good fights in that one. But it wasn't just because of the fights. It was like the people that we had around too, you know. But I want to say 4.0, and then I would also I'd also do a high tie for last season.
yeah,
You know, finally going out, starting strong arm, having that drama and everything like that. And back to the drama thing, I wish there would have been more. You know, so
we'll
I
come
mean,
back to last season because I got like 15 questions on my sheet beside me about last season, bro. Like there's a lot.
all right.
There's a lot.
But yeah, I gotta say though, it'd be right whenever we first got captaincy. That whole season right there, was pretty beautiful. So yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Turbo, your favorite season?
They say like your first love is the hardest one, dude. And
Yeah.
4.0, 4.5 was that first season where I really like got into roleplay and started to kind of understand. I still like a novice role player, but there was so much that happened. And the Navy did like 90% of its day-to-day activity was just losing fights and fucking just swimming back home.
Yeah.
And despite that, fabulous, dude. Incredible amounts of role play, so many scenes, so much to see. And last season was fucking fantastic, right? It was our first time like running just like a, no Navy, get out there, do what happens. And we did so much more than we ever could in the Navy, right? So much more content, so many more events, so many more scenes. But
Is
that
that
first one sticks with
potentially
you.
y'all's motivation from switching to Navy to privateers? Just out of curiosity, that's also one of our questions, so I figured I'd just plug it.
I want to say like absolutely, right? The Navy has a fantastic structure, right? And it's in a lot of ways a great way to just join up and have fun, have a good time, enjoy yourself, right? But when you have the structure, the people, the experience to kind of sort of just do it yourself, you can do the same thing you're doing in the Navy as far as content wise goes, without the restrictions, without the worry about this or that, about this standing in your way. And the Navy's fabulous for having those rules, right? But being released from them and just, you've had 2 years, 3 years of stewing just ideas the whole time, right? You come out swinging like hard, like,
Hell yeah.
I think the other thing that you guys did switching Navy to privateer is to prove to everybody that you're capable of running your own company, because a lot of things that people think about when they think of the Navy is that everything is handed to you, right? Like like you have 200 people in there that grind resources that get the stuff that you need, where you guys have the ability to wake, like from the perspective looking in at you guys, right? The perspective like I don't know how your daily Navy stuff really goes because I've never been. But like from the outside looking in, it's like you wake up and get to pirate. Where like me, for instance, who's been like 4.0 on, been on our own company pretty much. We've always had to like take those, like we have to take Sundays to go get shit so that we can have a ship for next week if one goes down, right? And like that kind of thing. And I think you guys did a really good job. I honestly, from my point of view, Strong Arm's like story and lore and what you guys were aiming for was like amazing. And I could not wait to go against it. Like I was like, you know, like these guys want to like get all these red companies together, and I was like talking to like Tony and Chubbs and AD, and I was like, bro, like I don't care how convincing Dems and Turbo is, we're saying no whenever they ask, bro. Someone like I've had this conversation.
And you know it was a good deal.
Yeah.
It was a great program y'all could have been a part of.
Right.
We could have been brothers.
And we could have been, but like I've had this conversation with Trippy and you two before as well, where the balance of the server is dependent on bigger companies like our own. And as soon as me and you, or you and Trippy, or me and Trippy, and like a couple other companies out there that are as big and prominent as we are, as soon as we join the same side, you notice on the server that it becomes a little bit more lopsided, right? And that's why our company feels that we always try to like just say, you know, fuck everyone and fight everybody. Because then really we have our own side that we can alleviate. Yeah. We can fight anybody, keep the balance of the server kind of going. Ad's about to start in 2 seconds. Everybody grab a drink.
All right.
I've snoozed it 3 times as much as it let me.
What was that last question that was just asked? I'm sorry. I'm really.
Oh, it was the I plugged it right in the middle of Turbo talking. It was one of the reasons. Why did you decide to go from Navy to
yeah. I got a good answer for that.
Okay, cool.
You got 19 seconds. Everybody else in here that's not in an ad is just chilling. Like, oh, this is like where we like to thank today's sponsor, Demkilla's merch. Hit that link.
Booyah!
Thank you guys.
We gotta get some. We gotta get some BMad.
I try to keep the prices down to the lowest, where I only make $1.
Yeah.
Because I don't really care about making money on merch.
Yeah.
It's just I feel like it's better if the name is out there, you know, other than getting pockets of money for that shit. So.
I have a great idea, and people are gonna love this. I think I'm gonna send both of you and Trippy and his boys. I'm gonna get a BMad toque for you guys. We're gonna get just a BMad toque, and you guys can have.
I'll love it.
But anyways, so we're gonna go back. Dem says he had a really good answer to why he switched Navy to privateer. Go ahead, Dem.
Yep.
I think so. Basically, Turbo and myself, we loved working with privateers. Back when we were in the captain, position, doing all that, like it was great. But I personally felt so frustrated for them, because it seemed like there was no real communication between the Navy and them, and it was like there was always this pipe dream of like having a building where they could come and hang out and get information, blah 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 blah, and which is sort of like the Plu, like it just didn't work at that time. So I thought, like, and Turbo said too, because we're so used to like doing this outward facing RP, because we come from Navy, and that's basically what it's for, is like we help drive other people's story. And so like that's whenever he come up with the whole Red Network thing, and then that was all his brainchild, Turbo's brainchild, and it ended up being wonderful, and but yeah, like we felt like we know privateers, and we feel like we could go out there and show them actually how to be a privateer and what to do, and
I honestly
that was our whole purpose of trying it.
The Red Network's a great idea too, because there's a lot of small privateer companies, which you guys will know of from being Navy, that don't get looked at, right? Like they try they try their best, but like if you have the opportunity as the Red Network to give them like a bounty, they're pumped. That little company might gain 5 people that week because they're after this bounty, and might make their role play for that season outrageous, right? Where
well, not only that too, like we would take companies that were dying, and then try to match them and mate them with another company that was also dying. And it was basically like we were
little privateer date show.
Exactly. Like we were out there like making love happen.
There you go, Dems. There's a thing for you on your stream. We're gonna do love love it or whatever, or married or whatever for like strong arm next season. You know, like bring two girls
Like-
in and see.
Oh, is it confirmed that y'all are bringing back strong arm for 6.0?
Absolutely.
No,
we're doing
we're
a few
not.
things a little different. Oh, wait, no? Oh, never mind then. I guess backup plan. Dude. Lately, you guys
Backup
recruiting? You guys got
Hey,
slots
hey,
left?
Turbo Dog, always, man. If you want to no deal Dems every day of the week, I'm in, bro. Because if I'm if I'm on the other side of that, I'm not mad. I ain't mad. Actually, to be honest with you,
like
I
that.
need you to kick Turbo's team, Turbo's group, or not Turbo, Chirpy's group's ass. The Border Supremers, you know, those guys that are.
It's not a problem, bro. They're all
Well, I
sorted.
mean,
Dude.
the thing is now they're all Navy now.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess we can do it during war games.
Which the thing is that we're gonna run into you guys more than we're gonna run into them this season, right?
Mhm.
Because like we don't fuck with Navy for at least like probably half the season.
Yeah.
Like we try to run from them because like the whole purpose of our group is always the myth, the lore, right? Like the Navy's getting reports on a company we play, but they've never seen them. You know what I mean? So like just kind of build that like that thing going on, right? Plus we all know Zero Bandit's like the worst border ever.
He
right?
really is. He
Yeah,
really
like-
is.
I think he misses the ship like 90% of the time.
Damn.
So, like, 'cause he
you
talk
got
less.
that, and you also got like Ogok, noob corpse.
Yeah, noob. Yeah, absolutely.
I think he's probably had close to around 100 boarding attempts and has made
Right.
One.
One.
none.
He made one.
Did he
made
make one?
He made one.
He made one like right at the
Oh.
end of the season.
Yeah.
I stand
But
corrected.
at the same point,
My
we're
bad.
talking about the same guy who tried to board a wall and couldn't board the wall because the wall he couldn't do it. Like
It's moving,
everybody
man.
else was up the wall fighting, and he couldn't get his grapple on the wall. And he was just like, oh, I'm done. I ain't leaving the ship anymore, man.
Oh man.
So you guys saying 4.0 is your favorite? It's awesome because I love talking about 4.0. So your thoughts of 4.0 ship combat compared to 5.0 and 5.5 ship combat. Thoughts, what you would change, what you liked, what you didn't like, you know?
I liked the sailing limit back then. You know, what was it? Two ships and a schooner for the Navy, and then didn't matter how many y'all had. You know what I mean? Like that was back whenever it was fun.
That was
You
nuts. I loved running or fighting like 2 to 3. I can't even remember what was the highest number we had in 4.0 when we brought out Blackmar the first time.
Yeah, like dude, like I
lot of
miss,
fun.
you know, I miss the whole 8 versus 8 ship fights at the end. You know, like that shit was wild. But yeah, ship fights.
It's emerging content that makes the game just more enjoyable, right? Like the
Yeah.
gameplay loop, whatever else you have in there, whatever else you do for the season, right? You will never be able to match what people can do for each other, right?
Right.
Roleplay.
No reason
And
to.
when you have people who are just down for that, dude, the emerging content from that is insane. Like it's fabulous.
I think
Something you don't see at all anymore.
I think
Or just
like
barely.
our favorite for 4.0, like we loved doing 1v whatever. Like there was one fight in 4.0 we were 1v5. We obviously didn't stay. We did a couple broadsides like pinned back, and it was the Navy and the Circle. I think we were up against because the Navy was on like a war patrol, and then the Circle was on their 2 tandem sail or whatever. And it was a lot of fun. It was probably one of the funnest times we've ever had. Was just sitting there trying to survive the 1v5.
Singing as we're running away.
So I'm gonna dive even deeper because you know my hatred. My hatred runs deep with bar shot, right? Like it runs deep. I think it ruins role play. I think it ends fights way too fast and makes the climax like pitiful, right? Thoughts on should they go back to the point of how much canvas health there was in 4.0, which is why bar shot was kind of like neutral at that point. It did a little bit, but not enough to ruin a ship fight. Or would you go back towards like, you know, the horrid 5.5 bar shot large cannon ships that were fun, but at the same point weren't that fun for some people.
Turbo, you rock that.
Way to out
Bar
him.
shot.
Way to out him. So,
Bar shot should be a debuff. It shouldn't be a fight ender, right?
Yeah.
The idea that 2-3 peoples with cannons, or in our case, like our shotgun brigantine, right? The first night we sailed out with Duncan, right? We saw a shotgun brig roll out, dude, and that thing was insane,
Yeah.
right, dude? It would fire and planks would fall off the ship. One volley, one pass, right? and we couldn't get close to it. Right, it was uncounterable entirely.
Yeah.
Right, and so we thought, and we from 4.0, right? Shotguns were hot 4.0.
Yeah.
Right? It's all you ran into.
Yeah.
And we thought shotguns are back. We need one, and so we made a shotgun the next fucking day. Right, dude, and we did it like Jaeger style, like Pacific Rim with 2 pilots. Right, we had the steerer shooter.
Yeah.
Right, it just made it more fun, like a little bit more fun. And yeah, we also now had the ability to stop fights in one shot, right? And it was not that great. Like we held on to it for a bit because we kept running into shotgun ships like consistently all the time.
Like what do you do when I understand where you guys are coming from too, right? Like because like you're going out there to have a good time, have a nice ship fight, role play. My rule of thumb is always if a fight lasts 30 minutes, both sides won. It's a really good fight.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. Both team, like even if I went down after 30 minutes, I'm like, bro, that was good. You know what I mean? And then like, but when you're going out there and getting bar shotted instantaneously, you're like, well, I don't want to lose in 5 seconds. So like, fuck these, I'm gonna lose these guys in fucking 5 seconds, right?
Yeah, it's like it's a no-win situation at all. It was rough, right? It's something we did use for a while, but after watching you guys on your ship, and you guys were having a fucking blast over on this, dude. You guys were having a good fucking time. We're like, bro, that just looks kind of fun, dude. Right. And so we started doing the same thing, and it was fucking great, dude. You guys had the code cracked before anybody else.
Yeah.
But definitely bar shot should be a debuff. It shouldn't end fights. It should be the case that if you just shoot somebody with a bar shot, it slows their speed for like a second or two. And the more bar shot you do, the more I don't know. I don't know what the perfect solution is there, right? I wish I had one. Right?
My
But
thoughts,
it should be the
my
case
thoughts
where
were bar shot only long nines on the front of the ship for catchers, and that's
Right,
not broadside finishers. Right.
and I like that a lot, right? Because that makes there's a lot of fights where there's a lot of commitment issues, right? People are like, oh, let's go in there and then leave. Right. We'll dump all our shit and we'll get out of here.
Yeah.
Long nines make you commit to the fight, right? If your opponent has long nines and you turn tail, they're going to shred your sails. They have a window to make you commit to the fight, and they could miss, they could outmaneuver you, right? It could be that you still get away, but it does give you a mechanic for catching that fleeing ship and forcing them to commit, which is ultimately what the point of the shotguns that we had was we are forcing you to commit to this fight. And it was like,
so we were tired of folks just running away constantly.
Yeah.
They would see that it's us and like, oh fuck. Like, and then they would just tuck tail and run.
I think like that's why like our group is like we would understand that more than anybody, right? Because running a full crew on one ship, we're usually a little heavier than most people. So like people running away from us is like a natural thing to us, right? I understand. I think if they ever did bar shot front nines would be amazing kind of content for that. And I 100% agree with you. I love fighting you guys because you guys are brawlers. Like I'm a big brawler captain. Yeah. Like I'm in tooth or nail. Either we have enough bucketers or we don't on both sides. You know what I mean? And I'll pull it back to it. We had one fight where I was pumped for. Like the moment I saw you guys, we had music playing. I was pumped in my head. I was like, this is it. This is the 1v1. And I know you guys are going to remember this because 2 other pyre companies jumped in. Right? On that 1v1. And then we ended up, us and you guys ended up fucking up one of the pyre companies together. We were sailing, and we were bouncing them back and forth between the two of us. I got a clip of
that, actually.
We were fucking bing bonging them.
Was that you captaining Dems?
I don't remember. Like I remember it might have been Turbo. Because I think that was toward the time when we started all going out on one ship.
I think I was LTing for you. I think that was
at that moment. Dem's thought chat. Maybe it's Dem Knightley duo with that back and forth.
If I see the clip, I could probably remember.
It's based on the ship, whatever the ship it was.
Chubbs, if you post it in the chat, I can click it without having to ruin the faces, our wonderful faces. By the way, chat.
I got it, Chubbs, you're good.
By the way, chat, I'm wearing purple today. I got the purple suit on today. Oh. Nice little purple. Thought it would be nice. I tried to find red for strong arm, but unfortunately, a man with blonde hair doesn't really wear red very often.
Fair, awesome, bro.
All right, so here's the clip. We're gonna post it over here. Let's pop it over here. Switch to...
Punishment from strong arm and forgotten. It's true. I was excited too.
All right.
They popped out of the wheel.
Here's the clip. Turn it up. See if it's loud enough.
Fire. Now fire port side. Starboard side, starboard side, starboard side, starboard side.
So you see, this is where you like they're between me and you, right? Fire. Like this fire coming, and they're trying to get out.
Teach this black shell
Recreating the
not
good
to
old
intervene
turducken
next
dude.
time.
Yeah.
That looks like the conquistador, so I think that's definitely me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sharp looking.
See, so we pushed
Next
it.
time, stay out of the fight.
Yeah. And it was just this was deadly for them, man. They limped home after this one. This was J-Rad's group that kind of intervened.
It had been. It had.
Yeah.
If anything, we were looking for them. Actually, we were cutting through their port. I'm trying to remember the exact context of how we got
I
there.
don't fucking with Strong.
But like,
Right,
had
we were
ongoing
waiting for
beef.
them. Yeah.
Right, we had some kind of score to settle
Fire ports.
Yeah.
of some sort. We were looking for. God, it's been a while, dude. But we've been harassing them a bit. You guys have been harassing us a bit, dude. Or the RP was that we were looking for them for sure because we wanted them for a good reason. I can't remember right now.
So like
We found a lot. Yeah.
So like our perspective in that, right? Like I was in two mindsets there, right? One, from the role play standpoint, we've told other pirate companies that we want you. If they see us fighting you, they should not join, right? Because
I think we went after them because he had a high bounty. He was like number one
yeah,
wanted.
J-Rad had a really high bounty at that point, right?
Yeah, I think it was like almost like 500.
Something
Wasn't
to do
it?
about breaking
500 gold?
what's her name's heart, right? Like Dems's, or not Dem's, Ven's
The admiral's
the
daughter.
admiral's
yeah,
daughter,
Gorkill,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Gorkill's heart.
Yeah. But like our other standpoint behind it was because I got no beef with like J-Rad and them, like they're good people too, was I didn't know the rule set at that point, and if we didn't fire, it's now a 3v1 on you guys. So by us firing on everybody, it became like a 1v1v2.
We do the same thing you do, right? We just like fire on all,
Yeah.
right? That way it's like whatever the ruling may have been, because it's just fucking
Yeah,
hard
it
to
goes
follow
null and void.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Accidents happen. Shots go through other people's ships
Speaking
all the
of-
time.
Before we forget about 4.0, I think there is a spicy subject that our group would love to ask one of our wonderful guests, Turbo, here, what their thoughts are. I'm not going to say anything. We're just going to play it. I'll post it in chat real quick.
I don't know if we can show this, man, because like I think I was salty as fuck.
Were
when it
you
happened.
salty?
I don't know,
Well,
man.
let's see if Knightley was salty.
Just know if you said anything, we forgive you. Okay, it's all in the past.
I don't know. I haven't seen this in years. So,
I've never seen this.
you never seen
From
this?
our
I've
perspective,
never seen the no deal.
This is the infamous clip. Yeah.
you get to see here like my role play that I was just like the voice of void, like just talking like normal, right? Let's
With the gold coin. on it.
No deal.
Just a thought.
One little red triangle up at the top.
I'll go up there.
Yeah, we can make a red triangle at the very top. You see what I mean? Like my voice is just so like, it's
There's only one.
and then look at you. Just fucking murders everybody on the top deck.
Everybody died.
Wow, dude.
And like the best part, like I'm gonna pause this here, right? Like you have allies beside you too, right? Like you have like a bunch of allies here, and then
Everybody.
yeah. Well, the thing is like a seagull could hit me and die at that because I was the crafter too as the ship captain, so I had like 100 health. So like one knock and I'm down. But
There was a lot of context there, right? That is hard to kind of sort of follow for sure. But
Sure. I'll give some context. So,
please.
like 4.0 context, we were Blackmire. There was the
That's
whole
right, Larry was,
Vernsey
yeah.
thing of him being the king of pirates, and we told him no. And at a certain point, we had a parlay, I believe, with Trippy that was talking about us potentially going to try to help hunt them down. And so we were at this parlay, big one, with you guys and a few red sails to potentially see if we get hired on for maybe being a potential like war dog privateer-ish thing. And that's the context that we know. Now, granted, was this also? Am I getting it mixed up when we also had a hostage?
so it was
Yeah.
both. It was the both
Oh
situation,
yeah,
right?
and the hostage.
So we had
Okay,
Kira Firefly And so the lead up to this is crazy. So I'm going to jump in because Chubbs missed a huge point. So
Sorry, go ahead.
So this is near the very end of the season. We went to the Navy Freeport because we needed mythos to craft better pieces. So we wanted to capture Kira Firefly on the mercenary on the privateer docks, and we came in as privateers in an all red ship called the Avenger, and we talked as if we were from Neeland. And we got outed by somebody who was like, it was Blackmire the whole time. You know, whatever. What kind of a role play was that, right?
Whatever.
And then we sailed north with 2 Navy hostages, and the Navy beat us home. Right? So we put Kira and I believe it was Cake in our prison that we made for them. Yeah. And then you guys raided us, and then we ran to RIP with Kira because Cake had to go to sleep. And then we were sitting there we had Kira off on another island. And then it was us meeting with you guys and RIP and then your privateers. I think you guys had 5 ships there. We had 3. Like we had 1, RIP had 2. And then we were on the ship and Trippy and us were talking about us helping out the Navy to end the war. And then we met Turbo.
There's a lot that happened there, right? And I think Trippy had been originally who was getting put on it. And at the time, I'll admit to you, right? But even as like a captain in the Navy, right? Like RP experience goes wise, I was still pretty great, right? Pretty definitely not quite there yet.
We all were.
And I mean, they put me out there, right? And like they put me without the context you had from Trippy's side. They just said, Cleveson, you're who we want to exclude from the fight this season. So you need to leave the grid so there's enough room in it. Go with Trippy and look for this kidnapped scout. Like, all right, bro, fair enough, dude. They hit me with this every time. And so away I went, right, dude. And they said, just get her back. Any means necessary. I'm like, gotcha. And I had no idea about the dealings or the what have yous, right? And Trippy had this whole thing going on where he'd been talking with pirates and like getting it figured out. Not anything I knew about. And in the moment, right, I even cut down a privateer that was with us in there. Yeah. And like, I'll never forget it, dude, because like I cut him down and he permit. Right. And they hop on the boat and his sister's like wailing, like, what did you do? I'm like, oh my God, dude, you're right. And all in all, like I have a lot of regrets about that moment all around. And honestly, it's my bad, boys. I apologize. I could have handled that a lot better back in the day. I really could have.
Like,
but I
don't
didn't,
apologize for it.
Yeah,
it was. I was trying to like from when it happened in 4.0, I was brand new to RP, basically a general. I was in 3.5. I was with the Roughnecks and did a big war thing, but when I really got into it was within 4.0. But we're kind of new to it. When that first happened, slight salty, but after that, who gives a crap, right? Because in the reality, if you look at it, like, would the Navy actually try to get these pirates to go out there doing that while we have a kidnapped lieutenant? Or do we have a badass potential maverick lieutenant that says, I don't give a fuck what y'all think. I'm going to make this happen and cleave. So at that,
I was a captain full on, bro. Like, and like, that's the thing. Like, I should have put a better example. Honestly, I should have done. Me now wouldn't have done that the same way. Like, not even close. But it would have been a lot more sporting.
To be honest with you, I'm glad
I would have still
I'm
been
glad
evil about it. Yeah, I would have still been like Cleveson was lawful evil, like 100%, right? That was always the intent. But I definitely should have been a lot more sporting, right? Like modern me now with the experience I have now, it would have been like a fairer fight. It would have been a fight all the same, and I'd be willing to sacrifice Kira, kill her. Then I don't care, right?
You'd already been kidnapped like fucking 10 times.
Yeah, sometimes people's time to go. But
so I think to be honest with you, Turbo, to give you some props, right? Like at that point in time, you taught Blackmire itself a really valuable lesson, right? Mm-hmm. Because like we had at that point we were very new and we had things like pre-planned, right? Like our hope, our perfect end of 4.0 was to help you guys sink Vernsey and them, and then us go back to the Navy port for our spoils, and then you would hang and kill all of us because we're technically still pirates, right? That would have been the perfect ending. But what you taught Blackmire, which I will never ever take for granted, is the fact that you roll with role play and you don't get angry when what you planned out doesn't happen, right? So like as much as like I appreciate like the apology, he never had to apologize, man. No. But like what you taught, like me specifically, right? The fact of like the end is never what you want it to be, and that's what's great about role play. I'll thank you for that. Like no dealing me every fight. You could you could have thrown your sword at me and I would have fucking died back then. So, but yeah, no, it was really, really good. And Trippy, if you think we're missing even more context, you have the Discord. Jump in, give your context, and then get the fuck out because your episode was last week.
Oh, I got your context right here, bro. Trippy, after that all happened, he tried to have Cleveson arrested. He was whispering to the other LT on deck, like, hey, we got to arrest the captain. He's out of line. That was crazy. He just killed all those pirates.
Yeah.
And the other LT kind of gave him the side eye, shook his head, nah. Then they just looked away. It was a very, very tense sail back home.
All right, chat. We're gonna take a 2-second thing. We're gonna talk to chat here. Just a reminder to everybody in there. I'm glad you guys are all having a good time talking to yourself. There's a link getting posted right there, the Discord link. Click the BMad thing in the new Discord, and then you'll be able to ask any of us questions. You can ask Dems, Turbo, any question you want. You can ask Chubbs why he's wearing aviators inside, and then you can ask me whatever you would like. Right? Talking to yourself. No. But yeah, so go ahead, Chubbs.
Go ahead. Speaking of questions, we do have another one that I may have missed here from Wolfie. This is a question for both Dems and Turbo. Could you give one negative and one positive about life outside the Navy?
One negative
and one positive.
One negative.
Okay. One negative is, I mean, like, shit, there's not a lot of people to talk to, like, around, like, the clock, you know? Right. We all kind of keep one schedule, so it kind of sucks whenever we got, like, some AM people that literally, like, that's the only time they could play, and me being a
D-Gen hour. Now. D-Gen hour, yeah, like the rest of us.
Yeah, it's, I mean, I gotta say, like, that kind of sucks, but positive, I've always, like, in these types of games, like, I've always loved building, you know, and, like, pre-planning, like, a town or something like that, like a layout, and, like, watching it come together. And whenever I was in sorry, my phone ringing. Whenever I was in, you know, Navy, it was only, like, a certain group could only build. And, like, that's why I always took Cap House as far as I could, you know, to not just to piss Vin off, which was hilarious, but it's because, like, you know, I always loved being different, standing out. And it's crazy, you know, because Cap House, man, mine and Turbo's Cap House is what basically happened with the Captain House. It's like we started that shit too. You know, like, God, we're the grandfather of shit.
That's
Turbo.
right. That's right.
It's crazy.
Hey, man, it's a good time, bro. And on our way out, everyone hated us for these captain
Everybody
ideas. Terrible. Next season, they're right back on the captain houses, bro. Fucking thought so.
Dude, and what was so cool is, like, every captain had their own little style, and it worked. It worked. It was a beautiful thing. And we created a monster for them, you know, because then they could never get people to go on other patrols for, like, you know, non-captains. And
what's up, Luminex?
It was rough, but
yeah,
it was good.
I think like, it's so funny because you guys are like you guys do things and then they kind of listen to it, right? We've been trying to get people to do the one ship, one crew for so long. And what was your thoughts when you guys, because you guys said that you did the one ship, one crew near the end of 5.5. Did you enjoy it way more than you did having two ships? Because our issue with having two ships is, one, like, we have other people in our company that are capable captains and stuff, but there's always one captain that's favored over the other. So you have that awkward split of, like, do you have to force people to go with one person, or do you have to force people to go with another? And then one ship always goes to sleep before the other because they're like, well, like, because you
80% here, 20% over there,
and you guys will know too, right? Because, like, if you don't, to me personally, like, especially as a captain, like, if you're back seating while someone else is captaining and they're way more patient than me, which everybody knows I'm, like, the least patient captain out there. Like, I dive in as soon as I can, right? I get a little kind of, like, in that sense of bored. So did you enjoy the one ship, one crew? And then to add on top of that, thoughts of the rumors of one ship, one crew in 6.0?
I gotta say, like, having everybody on the ship made for a lot more funny moments. It was good. But not only that, like, by then we were such a well-oiled machine. It was like we were unstoppable on one ship. And, like, the split up, you know, like, yeah, it's hard having, you know, like, backseat captaining and everything like that. Turbo has his ways of making me nervous behind the wheel. He's like, that's a mistake. If you done fucked up. He's saying that like in the back of my ear. But
Man.
yeah, I don't know.
I think the one ship dynamic was fabulous. Like I said, we saw you guys. I watched your stream and like, man, bro, they're on that shit, fucking just having a great time. And while we were patrolled, literally me and Duncan would sail tandem, inches away from each other, so we could talk to each other.
Right.
And it was half the fun. Is all being close enough to hear each other, and like RP with each other while we're looking for whatever scene we may run into. And the way we sailed was also kind of different, right? Our shotgun ship had a boarding crew on it. We had a boarding shotgun, so we would shotgun, inject boarding crew, pull back, rinse, repeat. And at that point, it's pretty easy to just, okay, I'll hop on Duncan's podium or vice versa if I'm captaining that night, and we'll just keep our dedicated boarding crew on top deck. And overall, we had a great fucking time, right? I want to say it was fabulously
solid.
fun. The synergy and like just the organized chaos, right? The fucking orchestra that is like the call outs on the ship when like everything's going real bad.
Yeah.
Right. And every, your bosons are fucking singing to you, the cannoneer, the head cannoneer's calling out the shot, and everything's kind of going super well.
Yeah.
Despite the chaos of it all, everything's going super well, and everyone's hearing what they need to hear. And it's a fucking fabulous thing to see. If you can make the machine work, it's probably the most beautiful way to sail an Atlas, like hands down, the most rewarding for sure. If next season is one ship, one crew, fuck it, that's fine.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think that
okay
would be
with
good.
it.
But
I'm
it should
totally
be.
okay with it.
If that's the case, they should chill out on the ship fight limit size. If 3, 4, 5, 6 ships run into each other, they should all be able to fight each other, no problem, without worrying about it.
So
if you have to run that night, it is what it is. Right.
We talked about this on episode 1, but I'm a firm believer that pirates should be one ship, one crew, and then the Navy and privateers could be more. Because like from an organized standpoint, like a Navy coming around with more than 1 or 2 ships makes a lot of sense, right? Where if privateers, like you guys are more of like an organized pirate company in general sense, you know what I mean? So it wouldn't be that outrageous for you guys to sail with 2 ships. But I think a pirate company, especially a pirate company that averages 25 people, a smaller company, if you have like 10 people or less, excuse me, and you want to sail along another company, all the power to you, right? Just to get you guys kind of at that caliber. But if you're one ship and you have 25 active people, you know what I mean? I think you should be one ship, one crew. And I can tell you right now, Chad, if you guys have never done one ship, one crew, you're missing out, man. Like 4.0,
Good shot.
4.0, Chubbs and I, we started 2 ships at one point. We ran a brig and a schooner for a while, and then we switched to one ship, one crew, and like just and it had nothing to do with like the captain's like skill level, but just the fact that like when one guy's energy is dying down, you have this other guy who's over here singing a freaking song or doing something crazy and just brings the whole energy up.
Yeah.
And those are the nights we'd realize we'd be sitting there and we'd run into Dems and Turbo at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and all of us worked the next day at 8, and we're like, what are we doing right now, man? Like, you're having such a great time, right?
It's like a drug. And I think a lot of people will underestimate the damage that a ship with an entire crew can do.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit. And those
like a 15,
broadside
16 ton
fights of
broadside.
like exactly. And when you get to that brawling moment with 2 different vessels with, I don't know, anywhere between 15 plus people, even 12 plus people, you can still get it. That amazing moment where you have 28 cannons firing at each other.
Yeah.
Chaos going, the yelling
smoke.
back and forth, the banter. You got people jumping across from one ship to the next when they're boarding each other.
Yeah.
It's absolute chaos, and there's no better drug on dark side ever. Period. That's
Hands down, dude.
And then the best, and you guys need to start doing what we do, because it's hilarious. People freak out when, especially a new company, right, that don't know you guys. We start yelling. As soon as we start losing planks, I'm over there on the captains. We're going 6th and 7th bosun. We need them all, and they're like, "Well, we got fucking 6 bosuns over there." Right? And it's like the mentality. We only have like 1 or 2, but like I think at one point we made it all the way to like 18th bosun, and they're like, "How many people are on this ship?" And it's just one of those things, man. Like I find the morale on a one ship. I'm very biased, right? We've been doing one ship, one crew since 4.0.
Yeah, that's fair.
And we also don't sail with allies either. And you guys will know as captains, being down in a ship fight, people might like freak out when you're 1v2, 1v3, 1v3, and you're the one. But that's where people thrive, man. That's the fun part, right? Because like it's constant. Like you pull off one guy and then you lead into another. You know what I mean? And it's just the adrenaline is just amazing when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Mel brought up a good point earlier too, right? A lot of the OOC salt you guys talked about earlier, like way earlier, like first question, it was all just Twitch chat, right?
Yeah.
I'm no stranger to like, big streamers Twitch chats being like, oh, Turbo's a shit lord, right? But this time around, it was like, oh, all of Strong Arm is shit lords and they suck because they have 2 ships. And so part of it was like, hey, we'll go to one ship. We'll show you. We'll show you one ship.
We even reached
even
out
more
to you.
disgusting. One ship.
Yeah.
We even reached out to you guys, right? Because because we've like me and Chubbs felt personally during 5.5, like we're like, man, I hope like Dimes and Turbo know, like we don't fucking hate these guys. Like we're just, like I'm sitting here streaming and people are like, man, Strong Arm's out with 2 ships again. I'm like, those fucking get over there and tell them to get on one, get that fire shot out of here. And like they'd go over to Dev's chat, like, man, Knightley's talking shit again. And I'm like, we should just, we should go jump into Discord with these boys and let them know, hey man, like it's all good and fun and
we're no strangers to Twitch chat and watching you chat, actually, bro. I know you, the animal for you are, right? But like, it's between like you, me, Knightley, between the people we're actually fighting with, right? We never had a sour word exchange, like not one DM.
Yeah.
No. All in character.
Believe it or not, we actually respect each other, guys.
Yeah.
And fucking assholes. Next question.
And to be honest with you, and depending on the night,
get this over with.
Yes.
Christ.
Just kidding. No, Dems, we don't start the argument until near the end, so it ends on a heat. Ends on the heat. It ends on the heat. Ends on the heat.
I do have a question for you guys though. For 6.0, what is one thing you're looking for?
He respects himself. Love you too, Bolly.
I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping.
Goal. You can say
I
goal too.
don't know. Like, I'm looking forward to. All the gold. Yep. I want to come back. Turbo, you go first.
Sure.
They say 6.0 is the last dance, right? It'll be the last time you see Darkside Atlas, and I mean, someone's got to feed the baby, so I doubt it, but we'll see. Right, we'll see. Right, but if it is, I'm gonna treat it like the last dance, bro. I'm gonna treat it like the last dance for sure. And so what I'm looking forward to, bro, right? I want to see those people I haven't seen in a while, right? I want to hear those voices I haven't heard in just what feels like years, and it has been years. I want to run into those people just one more time, right? And just we've always focused on outward RP, right? Me and Duncan, it's the way we were brought up, it's the way we like it, it's the best way, in our opinion, to role play, right? That you go out and you find out what people are up to and you get into it. And we're going to embrace that as hard as we can for the last season, right? But the big thing I'm looking forward to is kind of sort of rolling with the punches more so than we did last season, right? If it's the case that people are saying Strong Arm are these villains, they ate a baby, we will go find a baby to eat, and we're going to make that.
We're gonna start living up to the name, man.
We rolled the group last season. We were lawful neutral, honestly, right? We were still kind of like, kind of obeyed the law, and we were pretty good about, pretty like morally upstanding corporate idiots, right? But this time around, we'll dip a little more evil, right, dude? And we're gonna just kind of sort of make our decisions couched around just pure profits, right? If your dollars don't matter to me, then your problems aren't for me if there's not dollars on them. And so I'm looking forward to kind of sort of a more bad guy arc, all for the hope of making just a bit more content than before. But we want to get like pretty political with it, right? We want it to be spicy, right? Just ever so slightly.
Mucho caliente.
Mucho caliente. And to kind of explore those, we really explored privateering like hard last season, right? We did everything we could that we thought hadn't been done before with privateering. We kind of sort of made it, I wanted it to feel like its own faction, right? And if there's a faction out there that has had zero love, right, it's mercenaries. Mercenaries have existed as pirates in every season, right? All right, but there's always been like that red sail mercenary thing, and everyone's like, "Oh, they're the worst of the worst."
It's always so awkward when you run into a mercenary company that's sailing a black sails, right? You know what I mean?
Something like that, right?
It's always awkward. I wish there was a rule to separate them from everybody else.
Something. But ultimately, right, our story will go however the server and the world around us kind of molds it, right? We're gonna try to true RPG it, right? True RPG,
absolutely,
right?
Just saying, maroon's a beautiful color.
Isn't it?
You like this? I did it for you. I did it for you, man. Everyone's gonna call. There's a guy that jumps into my chat every night that calls me Ed Sheeran, and this red light is making me look like a ginger. Right? So, Dems, do you want to answer what you want?
Yeah.
To kind of revert back to you.
I didn't know like we were gonna delve into like what and all we'll be doing, but but yeah, yeah. Without giving anything away, it's like the early renditions of Batman, you know, and then later in the years, you know how Batman kind of went darker as a comic.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know, so basically
like Dark Knight Returns era. Like,
yeah, you know, it's like
So-
you're still gonna have, you know, Jasper because fuck pirates, am I right? You know, because he's really great, but we're thinking it's gonna be more of a
roll with
in your face, straight up psycho.
Hell
Yes, bar this time. It's gonna be like, you know, hey, I love what you've done with your ship, but I'm going to have to kill you on it.
Which kind of sucks because like that was the strong arm we wanted when we were hunting your ass. You know what I'm saying? I wanted you to be the crazy
right?
baby eating people, so we could be like, they're bad, man. Let us take them down.
In the moment, it was hard to kind of sort of figure out what was happening, right? So we kept going with the role play that we had like on hand, and the Red Network thing gave us so much content. We were everywhere, talking to everybody.
Discord on me goes up.
His Discord will make everyone sound like a robot. With OBS, yeah. So he has to hop in, hop back out. Probably.
Oh man, I forgot to turn my face on. Oh shit. Don't worry, chat. It'll correct itself.
Oh look, man. Nightly has upgraded himself.
Charge here, bro. All right, so tell me about this no deal shit. Okay.
I think so. I love this no deal conversation because like I think it's so funny that the hatred of the no deal came so prominent that your name in Trippy's Discord has been no deal for 3 to 4 years.
Easily, bro. Easily. Nobody lets me forget it, dude. And I'm okay with that. Right? You need a reminder.
Every time Turbo comes in, he's like, well, if it ain't Mr. No Deal himself.
But
it's kind of a badass badge to have, to be honest, man.
There's a lot of other terms people could use that you know, it could be a lot worse than being called no deal, right?
True.
So okay, I have a couple other like just some random questions. And now I gotta remember them because I was fixing my camera. Redacted objection, says Trippy. So Benji made a valid statement up here. Benji, my dude, how are you, by the way? Good to see you. Thoughts on the new ship?
Really want my take?
Yeah.
Hey man,
I think it's fucking garbage. I hate it, dude. I hate it.
What do you hate about it?
Yeah.
I just hate how tall it is. Okay, like look, here's the thing. Everybody that knows me knows I like a good fat aft on my fucking boat. And I don't think I'll be able to have a fat aft on that boat, man.
You could put a spoiler on the back to make you feel a little better if you have to.
I think that's the only thing that throws me off that ship is just how
it's kind
skinny and narrow it is.
It sits up a lot higher, right?
It does. It does. Now, granted, yeah, it's. I will say it's a good ship. It's a good ship. You know, it's a good in between a galleon and a brig. It's great. Moves great. The turn sucks, but it's fast. I mean, I don't know. I look forward to seeing like how people use it and how people utilize it.
Sure.
But for me, it's going to take me a lot of convincing to want to roll one of those ships.
Yeah.
Turbo?
That's fair.
New ship?
I like the concept of the new ship. I love the Indie Man's shape. I like the look. I like it's sleek. I think it's a mistake mechanically. I think it wasn't really thought out, right? I don't think it's going to work at all in the meta they have, right? And you may be like, oh, you filthy metagamer, right? You shouldn't be looking at that. Just sail the ship because it looks good. And, you know, I'm sure like I will probably have one anyway. So you'll see strong arm with an Indie Man, almost guaranteed, right? Because we tried a combat galleon last season and that shit didn't work, bro. Armored brigantines were so strong that if you ran into one armored brig with your itty bitty war galleon, bro, it punched a hole clean through you before you knew what happened. It's like, oh my fucking god.
Yeah, we dominated. Like we came up against like 2 or 3 galleons in our armored brig, and if they were in a straight line, they could get away. But if I was off their bow and I was turning them, there's no way.
So you have these armored brigs, schooners. You have all these ships that can turn rather well, right? Let's say an armored brig is a 0.5 second turn, right? In half a second, you can achieve a rate of turn that's pretty decent, like juicy, right? Not bad.
Right.
To where the Indiaman's like 3-4 second rate of good turn, right? So when you have a ship that cannot maneuver like any of the other ships can, like not even close, right? I don't think if you don't want to fight an Indiaman, you will never have to, right? If an Indiaman gets close to you, just turn left. And it will take so long for you just pretend to turn
Just
left and
turn
then turn
left.
right.
Just turn left.
If you juke them, you already got away. You're good. If you
I
get
could
far
see
enough,
6.0 merch right now. Just turn left.
just turn left.
Turn
If you can
left,
do a
dude.
180, by the time an Indiaman 180s, bro, they're just never gonna catch you.
That's
So
the-
if you want to fight Indiamans, then they will get a fight. If they don't, then you have the ship that will always have ships getting away from it, I think.
Yeah, I think like the question is, and a lot of captains have different perspectives, right? But for me, maneuverability as a captain's huge for me. Like I need to be able to turn in, turn out whenever I feel like it, right? And like the question to yourself is, do you sacrifice maneuverability for more health on either side? Because I believe it's large cannon, like gun ports. So like I think early season, armored brigs are still going to be very prominent, like the main cheese. And I think late season, as if when there's more blueprints out, because Turbo, you'll remember them, and Dems, if you've ever looked at a large blueprint, like cannon blueprint, if it's not balanced correctly, it goes from 12,000 HP to 60,000 HP pretty quick on a blueprint when it comes to HP on a plank, right? And I just don't think late season, with how high cannons get up to, right? How high a cannon's like damage comes up to, I don't think a brig is going to be able to hold enough cannons to take out 60,000 HP on an Indian man. It'll be tough.
Yeah, it's gonna be really tough.
If the fight's happening, then for sure, right? Struggle, right? But I still think a brig will be able to, if the Indiaman stays as it is, right? The only way Indiaman will become like a staple, a popular ship on the sea, is if everybody is using an Indiaman, so nobody's outturning anybody, or if they adjust the turn rate to the point where it's like just enough to be dangerous.
It just becomes one of those like irrelevant. What was it? Those PvP old days of just pure galleon fights constantly over and over.
Right.
Everyone has a galleon. It's just a fight.
Nobody wants that, right? Nobody wants that truly, right?
Yeah.
I think the Indiaman's like a cute ship. It looks good, but mechanically, I don't think it makes a lot of sense. It's just like at least movement wise. I think the
That
movement
boat needs some meat on its bone.
with everything else.
Yeah, I think
last time I tried it was a while ago, right? Like a testing, it was a while ago, and like it was like
I got faith in Darkseid to balance it correctly.
It might be pretty hot.
Yeah,
I think if they fuck with it, it'll be pretty hot. It'll be obscenely hot, even, right?
Yeah,
because that's the only thing it's missing is the ability to press, to push, to threaten other ships.
Yeah.
It can be very fast and it can catch other ships that are fast. That's good,
really,
right?
yeah.
But the maneuverability is so weak that, like, you know, like a 180 will buy you 10 seconds, 15 seconds of lead time at least.
Yeah, and then it's
Do y'all want to see a clip?
You can send it to Tony, who will post it in chat if you want.
All right. Court just sent me this.
The Corfucius clip.
Yeah.
If it's the pooping one, I've seen that one already.
It's
Almost strong arm in the toilets.
Oh, quick little announcement. Anyone that's in chat and you want us to go over clips, we have a segment in the show called Clips of the Week that will probably be starting once the season actually starts.
Yep.
But feel free. It should be pinned in the top, I believe.
It's up there.
Discord.
You're cutting it now because you're out having a smoke.
Love you.
Basically, what he's trying to say, Chad, is as of right now, this is pre 6.0, where you meet other people, you get to meet some people to have a conversation, meet your role players, meet your companies, that kind of aspect. When the season comes out, it's going to switch more to a talk show of current events, like clips. So if you want your company's clip to be featured, join the Discord, put the clip in, we'll take a look at it. I'm also thinking, and Dems, I think I've told you guys about this. I'm thinking about having a captain's corner, where like me, you, Turbo, maybe some Trippy, maybe a couple of his boys, we actually watch a fight that happened in the last week or so, and we just kind of dive deep into the fight and
Captain
and talk about it. You know, I think that would be kind of cool to do.
Pretty hype for that, dude. Be sick.
especially since like all of us have different captaining styles, right? Like obviously, as soon as I see bar shot, I'm gonna be like, "What? No!" And then you guys are gonna be like, "But it's so cool." You know what I mean?
Look at that boon action.
Yeah,
That's a
the
good
poon.
question.
The poon.
I know.
Yeah.
We can watch this clip, and then I got a question for you guys.
Somebody post it. It's a full-on video. They said it's an 11-minute. It's an
video.
11-minute video.
Oh, is it an 11-minute video?
The worst kind
Give
of
us a
person, bro. It's like, hey,
timestamp.
check out this
Discord.
clip, dude.
While,
It said
while we
11
wait for the
minutes long.
timestamp on this video,
Hold
let's
on.
do this. So Mars has asked a question.
Okay.
If you weren't captains, what other role would you guys like to play?
Oh.
It's a
GTA.
good one. GTA.
GTA.
I'll give you my personal experience. I don't captain, and I love it. I'm a cannoneer, top deck cannoneer. There's nothing wrong with bottom decks. I understand, Tony. It's a great.
That's
You're
right, you son of a bitch.
You're goddamn right, you motherfucker. Dude,
By the way,
I love cannoneering.
the cannoneering, great. And if you haven't done it, I encourage you. Bored
wish-
people, bored
I wish.
people. That combat is so much more fun than you think you can realize when it comes to like just melee combat. It's great, especially hopping on someone else's ship. The chaos that ensues is just absolutely intoxicating. That's for me. That's my favorite little role. That's what I do.
Dude,
But,
I'm
yeah, okay.
terrible at boarding
Are you?
or just combat altogether. Like, dude,
You should
Yeah,
take up
like-
Trippy's little he offered for training anybody.
no,
Trippy,
well, no.
he was a little
Turbo's my
intoxicated, but he
sensei.
basically said anybody can join him,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he'll teach anybody and everybody how to fight.
Look, I think Turbo would beat the shit out of Trippy.
Ooh.
Damn.
I'm just gonna say it. You know,
Back in the
sorry,
Navy,
Trippy, I
bro,
love you.
Trippy opted to jump in the ocean rather than stay on my ship, dude. Just saying, dude.
It's true. It's true.
Was it covered in Marines? Sure. But you know, the details are hardly what's important.
Yeah. Luminex says
It
that
sounds like we're
fighting
gonna
words.
potentially get like a championship bout sometime.
You heard it here first, chat. The trailer for 6.5 season is going to be Turbo and Trippy fighting each other.
Not to mention last season, bro. I like the look of your shield nightly, so I picked one up too, dude.
Ooh,
I'm
they're
pretty
na-
much like a.
They're
nasty.
good, aren't they?
They're
They
nasty.
are.
They're
I was ready
nasty.
before, but now I'm readier.
Oh
Oh my god, I hear Trippy going re over the shields right now.
Did you see the last episode near the end where he woke his whole family up going like,
He started
what
hitting his
the
bed."
fuck is about these shields?
Oh, we got an interesting. This.
Hold on.
Interesting question.
I
Okay,
want to
wait.
because I missed a comment.
Yeah.
I want to know if Mouse is still here. Mouse, are you still here? Because I marked your comment because I'm gonna give you an answer on it. I believe you're still here. I'm not sure. So there was comments about a Sinners interview. Tell him to reach out.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Tell 'em
That's
to reach
actually
out.
what this question is.
Oh.
We have a question, an ask away. Crack Viper is asking, what are your guys' thoughts on Sinners?
I love this. You guys are gonna love it, but I'll let these guys answer first. Mine's a little different.
Fucking hate y'all for sinking my shit. That was the day I forgot some fiber. Okay, yeah, I might have smoked some weed
You know,
and forgot the fiber, but still. No, I'm just kidding. They're a good group. I mean, I wish they would have stuck around for the Navy's thing, but like I understand like why they did what they did. I mean, we wanted to have a giant fight with them like for the last part, and then it just felt like a huge like, but you got to get here first type thing, and it just never did worked out. But yeah, I mean, overall, like I mean, they're good at what they do. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy them.
What's up, Zeracon?
God, Zeracon's the worst though.
Honestly, bro. Honestly.
Every time someone
He's
says hi
rated
in
like
chat,
that.
it's just you're the fucking worst.
Thoughts from you, Turbo? What were your thoughts on Sinners?
I ran into Sinners a few times, bro.
Mhm.
Right, throughout fights throughout the season. Right. Eventually, they lose a ship to Sinners at the end there. Right. Overall, they were good to have around because it's good to have people who are conflicted for sure.
Mhm.
Personally, I wouldn't play the way they play, right? And I don't, right? But like, I
Right.
mean, to each their own for the most part. I feel like if it's the case, right, that you proverbially kind of sort of throw all these kindling into a fire, right?
Mhm.
And you have this huge fucking story going. You have this massive thing, dude.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, even if you feel like your story is being disserviced, right, you should see it through to the end, right? It shouldn't be the case that you pull out and you just like, ha, fuck all of you. None of you get to enjoy any kind of closure on that. It just ends now, very awkwardly disrupting RP. And you know, I've been where they've been, right? Where it's not worth it to them, you know, like, oh, why should I be someone else's entertainment? And ultimately, it's kind of the point of roleplay, right? You're there to be someone else's entertainment. And a lot of people were sinners' entertainment for a long time, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people who probably didn't want to be, but you give,
Hey,
you get, right?
Hey, Mouse.
You give, you get.
Mouse, I know. I already know they're returning. This show has all the background deets. We know everything. Okay. We have investigators. AI investigators. We've already.
Are you talking about
predicted.
internal affair?
Chubbs, do
We
you want to
got
go on your
ciphers,
thoughts
please?
of the sinners, or do you want me to go in?
I'll give you mine. I kind of agree with Turbo. So as far as the sinners go, right? It regardless if it's the sinners or Black Rose or Vernity's group or AR, do you see my point? There's always going to be one group out there that's going to have that attention and that limelight when it comes to like conflict RP, especially with the Navy. It's basically whoever can knock a Navy ship first
is gonna have that aggro.
Is gonna have it, and it really just depends on how you can maintain that throughout the season, which can be a difficult thing. I think it's a necessity. Conflict is a catalyst to story, and it gives people goals, whether that be immediate or long-term goals. I love conflict. Conflict creates,
great
like
story.
I was saying, story. Yeah.
I think so. My everyone is waiting for mine because I'm very conflict based, and I have some very hard feelings when it comes to things that, like, when there's a big buildup and the ending is just cut off, like Turbo kind of said, right? Like, I have nothing against the Sinners. I some of their captains are good captains. My only thought with you guys, and this is me just being the harsh rip of the bandage, is that you guys just need to learn to roll your punches and stick out till the end. That's it, right? Like, your story last season, I know the Navy did some stuff, you know, to you guys that you didn't like specifically, or they changed a rule or something that you guys specifically didn't like. I'm not 100% sure on the background details. Maybe if we have our own show, we'll talk about it. But I think a lot of people would have had a lot more respect for you guys near the end of 5.5 if you just stuck around and died. Like, in reality, as a pirate that's been a pirate for many years, your end goal as a pirate isn't to win. It's never to win. It's to die. Because you're never going to beat the Navy, right? You're never going to beat the Navy.
That's true.
It's just the way of the story is going to roll. They're 200 people in reality, and like in RP lore, they're like 2 million people. You're 25 people, right? You sink Turbo and Duncan on a pirate ship or on a Navy ship, they have 50 more Turbos and Duncans coming your way, right? So, like, I from my point of view to the Sinners, I think you guys can fight really well, and I would love to see this season if you guys just stuck out through the role play no matter what happens and had a great ending. Like, it would have been a sick ending for you guys if the Navy ran your port, had a big fight, and props to the one guy that stuck around and actually fucking fought him.
Big props. Big
Was
props.
that
champion.
Was his name Tiny? Or do I
Yeah.
have that wrong?
He's in chat.
He's in chat.
He's in
Like-
chat, dude.
yeah.
That was the funniest
Mad
shit
props
I
to
got
that
to
one
see
guy.
forever. Just I see one little dude just running back and forth to
Yeah.
these different candidates.
Oh
on the
yeah, yeah,
seawall,
dude. He was
just
doing it all.
giving it everything.
Like,
Yeah,
he was
it
out
great.
there, man.
He was listening to some
Yeah.
crazy music. He was like, I got this. Just firing them
For
over.
sure, for sure.
You know, like, that's my opinion. Like I said, no hatred towards the Sinners at all. You guys just need, like, I was pumped for your end, right? But there's a Sinners 6.0 trailer I want to see. I've seen it, but we can. I don't know if we want to show it here. We can show it on our episode. I'm telling you, get some of those guys to reach out to me.
Yeah,
And we'll put an episode in, and you guys can do your little story. Or we can watch it near the end if Dimes and Turbo want to see it. So the other couple other questions we have going on now that we've kind of nicked the butt about the whole thing. There's only one other issue I have with you guys that I think Dems might know about, but Turbo doesn't. And this is on a personal level between Dems and me. Okay. Saphira said she was going to join us for 6.0, and now she's going to you. And this is fucking bullshit, Dems. This is bullshit.
That's a very good point. Very good point.
I don't know how many Strong Arm members you got to message her to make her go back to your team, but this is bull.
Just one.
This is
Just one. Just one. That's all.
Take
So
their
never
hardest.
think-
Look, bro. Right, and I was
These are
crying
good
for
luck
this
charms,
actually,
goddammit.
dude. Right? They told me you claimed that that we stole Saf, right?
Yeah.
But can you steal, right? What was one?
What was one? Oh, here we go. You know what? I think the day 2, whenever the ship combats come, we'll meet you out there at 4. And whoever wins the ship fight of the first ship fight of the season gets Saphira.
No deal.
Son of a bitch. Okay.
I'm sure she's probably told you, right, dude? But like,
Yeah,
Saf was
yeah.
supposed to be quitting. She thought she was going to be
Yeah,
done with
yeah.
Atlas forever, dude. Right? But Duncan, he's a very charming dude. Right? Next thing you know, it's like, I'm back. I'm like, all right. for sure.
I had to have her back. I told her and Tone. I was like, look, I'm gonna need you to come sail with me. And he's like, Tone goes, what? I was like, yeah, man. I'm gonna need you to hit the seas with me. He's like, I'll be there, big dog. I was like, hell yeah.
It was like that. I thought he was done. Oh shit!
I thought he was too. I thought he was too.
I mean, when
But then
people
it just
feel
took-
wanted.
you
When
know?
people feel wanted.
I mean,
Yeah,
dude, like
yeah.
that's the thing is I love them guys, dude. Like,
for
because
real.
we've known Tone since the
Day
sheriff
one, bro.
days.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I
Totally.
mean? And I mean, shit. We go back in the day with Tone, man. There was one time, like his old character. I'll never forget this. Remember when his son got on his account?
Bro, oh, we
It
had to
went
roleplay that he
crazy.
was drunk.
And the no,
His son had
we
gotten on his
roleplayed that he
Atlas
got
account. He was-
possessed.
Yeah.
He was possessed by the devil, so we had to lock him up in jail. And dude, you gotta think this is back whenever. Oh man, I could go through some memories right now. Like this is back whenever I used to drink a lot. If you knew me back then, well, you knew how wild I was. But there were some times I'd have to wake up in the drunk tank. Turbo had to put me in the drunk tank. I went around and I accidentally killed this woman. I still to this day have no idea who it
Oh
was.
yeah, dude. Bro, sheriff back then was wild, bro. Because like Duncan would get up to some shit, dude, and like I walk up to him, he's like, I killed somebody, and I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? We go around and there's a fucking body, like a player body on the beach. I'm like, oh my god, dude, you were serious? We brushed it under the rug, right? We put him in the drunk tank. I'm like, don't worry,
Hey,
about
hey,
it.
chat,
He's
what
gonna
you're,
be
what,
okay.
you're, what, you're,
Jeez.
what you're hearing right now, chat, is live proof that the Navy's corrupt as shit.
Oh yeah, bro. Cleveson would carry Cleveson and Berwin would get up to all sorts of shit, dude. We pulled over people, and Berwin would have letters of conspiracy of threatening to kill the king, right? And he would plant them around, or we would plant some dragon's tongue.
An ad.
Oh, we got an ad
Oh, for
break.
sure.
Oh no, dude.
All the juicy stuff. Oh well.
The eyeball sushi,
That's so
man.
Funny, man.
But yeah, no.
We also have another question up too about the Navy. I think it's good. I have some points for it too.
Yeah, no worries. You guys doing good still? You're good?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, we're all good.
Having a great time.
Behind the scenes, chat. This is what behind the scenes looks like for 3, 2, 1. And we're back. And we're back. You know, I love those Twitch ads that I can't. I've tried to turn them off, man. I don't know how. I hate those things. So Chubbs has a question for you guys, but I actually have one more that I believe that would be an interest of the two captains here. What are you hoping is going to make a return in 6.0 for combat and not return? Like, are you hoping that like Barshot's weak at the time, like so there's more brawler fights? Are you hoping that the one ship one crew is implemented? Are you like what kind of fights are you? I know like you guys are very brawler like I am, not like Trippy who stays out to the very end, right, Trippy? But what are your thoughts?
Well, I would say I would like to see 2 ships come back, just because I'm usually the brawler, Turbo's usually the surgeon, and that's like the synergy that we've always rolled with. Like I'm there to take the hit, Turbo goes in. Back, basically I peel off. Turbo comes in with the precise shots and finishes them off and stuff like that. And I don't know, like I kind of want to see that come back. But if it is one ship, like I said, we'll just continue to keep having a blast. All on one ship together, doing our thing, making it work, sinking them ships, getting that gold.
Turbo.
I do enjoy the dynamic that Duncan and I have, and I enjoy the way I've always hated the people that say, "Oh, I'm a support captain." Oh, there's no quicker way to get me on your case than saying I'm a support captain. No. If you're captaining, you're sinking ships.
Yeah.
I don't need your help to sink the ship. Just get in there and also try to sink it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it was preposterous to me. And so everyone's like, "Oh, I'm an interceptor. I'm an interceptor in the Navy. I'm support. I'm support." I'm like, I'm an interdictor, right? I capture ships. If you want to show up and shoot it while I'm sinking it, you're welcome to, right? And so what I'm hoping to see, right, is that boarding had a lot of stigma around it last season, right? And I guess it always has, right? It became the meta, thanks Trippy,
Yeah.
right?
Thanks,
And
Trippy.
and I'm hoping that's the case that they've taken some time to kind of sort of fine tune melee combat to where it's a bit more competitive and it's enjoyable for people who have no idea what they're doing, right? If they made the skill floor lower, right? Because I see a lot of new people in the server, they don't know what they're doing, and that's it's tough because like you want to have a good fight with these people. You don't want to discourage them. You don't want them to be like bummed out about it, right? So I'm hoping to see that they've gone ahead and made it so that melee combat is Cypher, a little bit easier for like new people to get into, right? Just to make it less unforgiving, right? Because last season, if you knew what you were doing and someone didn't, the fight could be over in like 2-3 swings.
Yep,
and that was just that.
That is
and then
true.
bar shot, right? Bar shot should do like 1% sail health. That's it.
Yeah,
Agreed on the bar shot.
I think like you guys as captains will know how I feel, and other captains in there. I saw Water is in chat. How you doing, bud? But like I feel horrible, and we talked about this too in episode 1. When you come across a ship that says DD, and then they answer because they're new. And they're like, man, we're about to, and you know how it is. It's the PvP guys from Official, like, we're going to sink these role players. I'm like, bro, you have no idea what you're just knocking on the door for right now.
And that was about the time they learned.
Yeah. And, at the same point, though, I don't want to destroy them completely because then they never come back. Because you want people to kind of like get addicted, how I would say how we all are when it comes to Atlas roleplay, right? With the Dark Side mods and the amazing Dark Side team, right? So I always feel bad when it comes to that. And before Chubbs' question, I totally forgot about this. And I've talked to Dems and Turbo about this, but I want chat to hear this. The moment you guys had Trippy in 5.5, right? And we were sailing beside you and you had Trippy's group on there and we wanted to fight. But the rules as a privateer at the time stated that if we went against you, right, we would immediately be black sailed. Stopped us. So my question is, would you have preferred us to jump on your ship and board you for the bounty if the rules allowed us to, right? You know what I'm saying? Or would you you know what I mean? I already know your guys' answer, so I'm just gonna leave it at that and let you guys answer.
See, my thing is I'm a firm believer of role play over rule play. Like that night, if y'all would have done that, it would have been fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
like
not a soul would have reported you. We would have enjoyed the
none of us. Exactly. Like that's the thing. It's like when it comes to us, we are very big on the role play over rule play. Now, granted, if you're breaking the rules and it's blatant, expect your ass to get reported. But when it's shit like that would make sense and that follows a good storyline, don't worry about the consequences, man. Just do it.
So for
you know
us,
what I mean?
Not to mention,
ahead,
I thought you guys could have gotten away with it for sure, bro. If you guys sank Duncan's ship,
yeah,
I was elsewhere. I was dropping off some random people. I was dropping off a prisoner at the post office, and so Duncan was by himself. So if you sank him, took the prisoner, and took it to Navy, they wouldn't have even known, bro. You would have been like, it's me, the privateer, here to turn in my bounty.
It would have been amazing role
There was
play.
two things. So we knew immediately. I know we probably could have gotten away with it, but if we did go through with it, as soon as we turned him in, we would have to run. We would have to pack up shit. We know we're going to be pulling up the black because it was what's her name? The PLU lady.
D'Artagnan.
D'Artagnan. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
nice.
She hated us.
Really?
For obvious reasons, but you know that's perfectly fine. But we knew, like, as soon as if we did that, we would have to one get up and running, and two, it was just we didn't know.
For
Yeah, go ahead.
For me personally, it was too soon for us to go to black sales, right? I didn't think you guys would turn us in because I know you guys would have loved that fucking storyline because it would have gave you guys like a really hard on, like hardcore fight onto us, right? And that's what we kind of wanted. But like our biggest thing is like, you know, meta happens, never mad about it. You know, for people who use it to try to get that 10 seconds of fame, you know, answer to you is get better at role play, and then you'll be in the 10 seconds of fame by yourself.
Once people realize, like, if you don't use meta in that moment where everything comes together,
yeah,
those are the moments that RP's about, right there.
Yeah,
right. Like it wouldn't have been you guys, but somebody on an island in the distance would have came up to the Navy like, I saw a red sailed ship that was 100% the unlisted sinking the the strong arm guys that they've been shit talking this whole week. You know what I mean? And then that would have put us to the point of when we were like, you know, are we ready to make the thing? Because like that was our first time going red sails because you guys have always fought us as pirates, and we loved it. Like we loved it because we got the chances to role play with Navy and privateers like you guys. That the only role play we've ever had was, oh, your mother was a bottom deck cannoneer, you know, and then sail our ways. You know what I mean?
Not an insult, Jay. Just saying. Not an insult.
Tony. It was. In a second. I'm gonna say Sal said, "Did I answer your question? What was your question, Sal?" I did not. Water says 6.0 is gonna be hot. I really hope the Sinners come back and they just blow out of the world with role play and like fight people because they're good fighters, and I really hope their story is amazing this time around. You think a Sinners interview would be cool? We'll see. You have to reach out. We'll have to talk about some stuff. Organic role play, yeah, no. We talked about it for like an hour after that moment. Like, man, how sick would it have been if all of a sudden, like, because you told us that was the worst part too, right? Like, if you tried to hide them under your ship, Dems, we wouldn't have known. But you're like, oh yeah, we got this bounty on us that's worth 60 gold, and I'm like, this motherfucker's running in my face. I wanted to yell, port side cannons, board this guy.
When we were
I think it was all about 88 gold.
Yeah.
We didn't care, dude. If it was one copper, we
would have done it. Yeah, one copper. Yeah, if I had to pay you, Dems, I would have jumped over there.
Oh yeah, and here's your tax. Thanks. Go.
But see, like the thing is what was tragic though about capturing them, was okay. So I lost the ship to them whenever, like, because we sailed into a grid and then the game crashed or whatever.
Yeah.
And my ship was already sinking, and whenever, you know, the server came back up, the ship was gone. So I mean that kind of sucked. Well, then what was so crazy is that's the same way that we captured them. Is we were in a fight with them, and then the server went down, and then when they came to, server crashed and stuff. And when everybody came back, their ship was gone. You know, so it was like already sunk.
Yeah,
and
happens.
So basically, it was like it was almost. I hated the way that we caught them. I wish. That's why I'd have been totally okay if we had ended up fighting you guys, because then it would have actually felt like we earned it.
Yeah.
You know,
we even told them, dude, like, just OC, like, hey, bro, that was dog water. If you guys want us to just like, they made it away in the sea, we'd be fine with that. Try again another day, right? Let's see that the RP happened. At the time, though, Trippy and them were like, nah, bro, just roll with it, I suppose. And then, all right, bro. You already know that beach looks really close.
Yeah. We had some moments too where we crashed, and like you guys had moments. The night we saved you guys, quote unquote, like took you home, you guys had a lot of headaches coming through that thing as well, right? And then we and like the headaches.
That was that same night.
Yeah. Like the headaches happen every once in a while. I know, for instance, I crash a lot. Like when I go through grids, there's moments, and Chubbs and them are always around me on the helm. For some reason, if I'm holding the helm, there's about a 60% chance that I'm gonna crash. You know what I mean? Like there's a 60% chance that I'm going out, and that's why when I try to fight people, I try to stay in one grid unless I'm running. Right.
Yeah.
And, like I try my best to stay in one grid, even if I'm gonna lose a ship.
What I've noticed though too about you guys, back even whenever I was in Navy, and y'all were doing the Black Seal thing, like when we fought, if we did go into another grid, we always gave each other ample amount of time.
Oh yeah.
To like make sure somebody was on the wheel or somebody was like, there, because like that was the issues at the end.
Mhm.
Like, and it happened to so many people, like going through a server wall, and the next thing you know, half of them's asleep, and it's
I think that's a really good point to bring up. I public announcement. If you're in the middle of a fight, just like how Dim was saying, if y'all go from one grid to the next, give each other some breathe time
Yeah.
before it picks up. Because
like stick
if
beside each other
not,
all you want.
yeah,
Just make sure you give somebody ample enough time to
yeah,
see. Because like what I couldn't stand is whenever like I would go through a shimmer,
Mhm.
and then bam, all of a sudden I got like 85 cannonballs already flying at me,
Yeah.
hitting me.
right, right.
But yet I'm still not even loaded in yet, and like I think it's a
Well,
cop out piece of shit move to do.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Like, I think the server's gotten a lot better. Like with competent captains that we've like seen over the seasons, and you guys can contest this. You've been here as long as I have. That most captains give you that time between, like, as soon as you go through a shimmer, they wait till your sails move, because that's kind of shows you that the captain's still on the reel. But I honestly think people don't realize though, when you come through a shimmer and you start throwing like a ton of cannonballs at somebody, it could cause somebody to crash. Like they could be loading in, and then like the game's trying to load the same instance it was before it came through, and then all of a sudden it's trying to add the cannonballs on top of it. It could cause a lot of headaches, and it's not a fun thing to do, especially as these two know. As a captain, if your head goes out, your thoughts immediately go like, how long is my guy going to be standing on the helm not moving?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's that kind of thing. Like usually when it happens to like these guys, like Chubbs, my crew know what I mean. They're like, Captain, are you still there? And I'm like, yep, I'm here, but I can't see shit.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's the way it was.
So
By the end of it, bro, I was like, if you have a responsive captain, bro, knock him out. Just
Yeah.
start whacking the fuck out of him, bro. It is what it is.
I got into
Right,
the
you got a
habit.
black
Plenty of
jack,
welts
great.
on the back
If
of
not,
Maddie said.
Yeah. I got into the habit of jumping off. I find it helps me going through a lot. Like I'll jump off right before, go through, and then I'll jump back on right away. That way, if somebody has to get it, they can get it, right?
Yeah.
We have one question in chat, and then we'll go to Chubbs. I know we keep going. I could keep going all day with this stuff. There's the fact of loving Atlas so much, right? Rogue only. Two things. You said it would be cool if the Sinners fought us. Well, if you weren't fighting the Navy so much and came south, you would have got some of this ass. All right, because we claim territory every season, and then whoever comes into it, we hunt. A little bit of meta there. And Rogue also asked, Dems and Turbo, how did it feel fighting Black Rose in 5.0? And while you guys answer that, I'm gonna disappear for a sec because I'm gonna go say goodnight to my child.
All right. Black Rose. Oh my god.
Who was that, bro?
Who were they?
Something. I think it was one of those smut novels that was going around.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Right.
God, I love them smut novels.
Black
They're my
Rose was a good
favorite.
time, dude. You have no idea how many fucking operations were meeting. Like, all right, bro, this week's fucking Delta offensive. It's about bringing it down on Black Rose. And like, the secretary at the time, Coda, like his character, dude,
Sure.
Chesty Puffins, dude, had that voice, bro. It's like, we're gonna be surrounding them from day to dawn to every time, and they're not gonna see a single. And like, we would hear like these stories of the things we're supposed to do, and it would go back and forth. It would be like, today, all right, what was our fucking patrol name, bro? I forget. Our task force Janet, bro. I forget. Anyway, our task force was like, oh, go
Task
into
Force
Black Rose
Karen.
water. Task Force Karen. That's what it was.
That's what it
TFK.
was.
Later on, it was Indigo. Later on, it was Task
Yeah.
Force Indigo. It was like, all right, your task force is to go into Black Rose waters and like fucking bring the hammer down, right? Oppress them. And so we would go looking for them, right? And every now we find them. But like the next day, it was like, actually, don't go in there anymore. We changed our minds. New plan: go around them, right? Go around their grid, right?
Genius.
And then they would change actually zero interaction, flip a bitch around the other side of the map and go like around. So you come around the world, and then you'll surprise them. Like, so the order of the day for Black Rose changed very often, and it was hard to catch. But the few fights we had with them were pretty enjoyable. They were a good time.
Yeah, that was.
I'm trying to think, bro. There was one that was like soured by a privateer third partying, I think, bro. But that happened a lot with like Sons of Ragnar.
Yeah.
Dude, like just
Sons of Meta.
We had fun with some Sons of
Dude,
Ragnar.
I'm telling you,
in 5.0
Dems,
as
you'll
well.
know as a content creator, man. At least you knew when you were going out, you were gonna fight somebody. You know,
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, not for you guys, you were on the same team, but for me at least,
Yeah.
every time I went sailing, Sons were like, You know what I mean? Like they'd show up.
They were there ready to help. They were eager beavers, man. Eager beavers.
So here's an interesting question. So Bandit asked, this will be a question for all of us. So at the end of 5.0, we noticed Navy was spawning unobtainable parts to try to even the playing field. What is the thoughts on Navy spawning in parts opposed to other routes? My personal opinion, they're the Royal fucking Navy, and they should be able to bring out whatever they need to bring out in order to keep the order, because it's an entity within this server that needs to be not only a welcoming place for new people into Atlas and learning how to actually play the game, but also you're fighting a country, not a company of a crew of like maybe 10 to 25. You're fighting a fucking king. And when the reality of it comes down to it, if they need to scale something in order to help out balance, let's say with like maybe newer captains of the sorts or whatever the situation may be, I think it's fine. That's just me, because if I'm fighting the Navy, I want it to feel like I'm getting pushed in. You know, I don't like that, but you get the gist.
I will
That's
say
just
Turbo and myself were one of the last ones to adopt that. I mean, like we had 2 ships that season that we retired over. I mean, it's actually the ship that I ended up sailing off to that season.
Right.
But we didn't like it at first because we just felt like, because number one, we're already nasty, you know. But
Sure.
I see like the aspect of like, yeah, the Navy needs to be stronger, which is true. But I don't know. I was kind of like tossed or torn in the middle on that one, because like, yeah, at one hand you do have a country. You should realize, like, if you go up go against a country, like they're gonna come down full fist. Like that's just what countries do. At the same time, I felt like it ruined it for a lot of people whenever it was like
So you
made
felt like it was maybe too
transparent.
much at some point.
Well,
At some point.
I think it's
Yeah.
just the miscommunication about what actually happened, right? Like if you're reading in chat, like
Exactly.
a few
It
people,
wasn't as bad as what people think,
So like,
but
yeah, go ahead, Dan.
it did happen. You know what I mean? Like, yes, parts were spawned in, but they weren't like overly dramatically like better than anything else that was on the server. It was maybe just by a couple points
Well, I think
here and there.
I think the biggest thing is, and then from my perspective, right? So a few people in chat are saying that they just leveled their ships up to max, they didn't spawn any parts in. But like from a point of view from me, right? Like you spawning in, 'cause I'm sure this happens. Do you guys get your ship parts from gathering them, or do they spawn in X amount of boxes and pull the best out of them?
Initially, it was just gathered, right, for the first few seasons. Once they started spawning in boxes, they would spawn boxes and just, you would get our shipment from the king of boxes, and they would just crack them open, bro, like in a big
Makes
hole.
sense.
So like from my point of view, like 100 large boxes, which you guys will know now from last season about hitting the blueprint world, right? Those getting large boxes is very minimal. Like you get, like, if you go out for an hour, you might get 4. So like spawning in 100 of them is a little harsh. My point of view, and then we'll jump to you, Turbo, is I think the Navy should be stronger than everybody else, but not in sales. I think the Navy should have a thicker wood for their stuff. I think they should have maybe a little bit better cannons, or like the top tier of the current blueprint of cannons they have. But in a sales perspective, they need to have like as par to sales as everybody else, or else they're going to be able to catch everybody all the time, and that doesn't give you the role play as a pirate to be able to outrun the Navy. When the Navy has, if the Navy has, like, the biggest thing that the Navy has against them is 25 people on a ship, which should cause them to go slower, which should allow pirates to escape on a normal basis. The moment they get top tier sails, and I don't have that, they can now, that kind of like gives them the buff that outweighs the 25 deduction, right? So then they can actually catch me, and it forces me to be able to have to surrender and be like, my sails are charcoal, or like that kind of nonsense, right? I think the Navy should have to go get sails, but for like planks and stuff, I'm totally fine with them kind of getting that kind of stuff. To me, that makes sense. Turbo, your thoughts?
The Navy was discerning with what it used, and so were the captains, right? Even if we walked into a room and we saw like some banger cannons, right? We were like, oh, let's just grab whatever the fuck they have, like on the we would make sure to handicap ourselves as best we could, and the Navy crafters themselves also would like chill the fuck out on what they put out there, right?
Sure.
There were some things that would be too good, and you would hear about them, but you wouldn't see them because they wouldn't be put out for anyone to use. And should the Navy be stronger? Sure, but they already were. They had the big shipyards, and a level 62 ship versus your level 51 ship.
Yeah.
That was a lot of free stats that the Navy already had on you.
Yeah.
Right. And I thought that was more than enough.
A lot of that though is for crew though, because you guys have to have like so many of your shits into crew points, right? Because you guys have so many people.
It was for
Yeah,
crew, a lot of it. But even
of our
then, you
shit.
still had like 8-6 toolings free to just throw them
Yeah.
into damage or something. Right. And like ultimately the Navy should be a little stronger, more organized. And I think that their personal equipment should be fabulous, right? I think they should be kitted,
Yeah.
right? And like boarding a Navy ship should be dangerous, right? It should be like
Yeah.
a fucking concept.
They should all have
Right.
shields.
Yeah. And they should have the max level ships. They should have level 70 ships, honestly. For all
Yeah.
I care. I think leveling the ships is the smartest and healthiest way to handle it. Because even if you have a ship that's, it's gassed to the gills, right, and has all this crew on it or whatever, and has a bit more damage and more defense than yours,
Mhm.
you're never going to run into the discrepancy that starts to happen when those blueprints start to creep up, right?
Yeah.
And having access to that heavy of a blueprint all the time, no doubt, it's kind of like the Navy has so much money, so much people, and a strong trade dog.
Yeah.
You cut a lot of RP out by just, I don't need your blueprints anymore. I don't need your resources.
Yeah.
I don't need any of that shit. I just spawn it for myself now. And I
Fair
think
point.
trade, while it can be hard, right? A lot of people don't want to trade. I promise you, trade dog's one of the most fun positions in the Navy by far. There is so
I feel
much
like it would have been
roleplay.
interesting if they'd went to the
So
port
much
towns
roleplay there.
and offered them the boxes.
Yeah.
Something. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's a lot of ways in roleplay that Navy has tools to handle that problem, right? There's a lot of RP tools they had. It was a shame that they used a mechanical tool to solve their problem, in my opinion. I still think Navy ships should be high level, but I think they had a lot of the resources they already needed to achieve what they wanted without having to sponsor it. But just, it's a struggle, right?
I
Because
got-
as the population gets a little smaller, it's harder and harder to trade dog to really
Yeah.
turn stuff and squeeze stuff out of the economy.
Right.
From this conversation, I have so many more questions now because people are talking in chat, and I think it's great. So, somebody had a question. Was who is going to get their ship sunk more while captaining between you two this season?
Turbo or Dems?
Dems puts his hand up right away.
It's always me, dude. It's always me.
I mean, we're going to be sailing in one, like odds are good. We're going to be sailing in one ship the whole time. So
Yeah.
hopefully neither of us, right? 0 sinks this time. Easy. Right.
Easy.
But like, otherwise we'll sink together every time. This time
Yeah.
around.
Here's the thing, though. It takes me, and it's every season, I have to get in there and shake off my rust.
Yeah.
But when I do, baby,
Yeah.
I'm like, I am mean. I'm talking about, I'm fucking amazing. Like I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but
Every captain's confident.
you might not believe this, but
No.
I could sail like the wind.
I can say a lot the wind.
That's great.
I think
Speaking of sailing, there is one more question. Wolfie asks, "Can I get a final sorry from Dems for taking the helm from me in 4.0 when we created the perfect T-cross?"
Listen, buddy, that was all me. He. Okay, listen. Okay. Wolfie,
Grateful LTs, bro.
fuck you. Okay. All right. That was all me. All right. No, what it was is that okay. So there was this time that one of our ships went this way, like this way around the island.
Yeah.
Just my microphone. Sure, it looks good. Hold on. Anyway, one ship went this way around the island, and then that the ship that we were chasing was same course, whatever. I was like, you know what? In my head, I'm thinking, why don't we just cut off to the right, go around this island, keep the major wind, and then just hit these fuckers in T. But at the same time, Wolfie and I had had so much synergy that he thought the same shit, and it was weird. Okay, because we both were on the same page at the same damn time, and I was like, yeah, do it. And then of course, I have a hard time letting go as a captain of the wheel. And yeah, so I took that from him, and I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry at the same time. So fuck you, Wolfie. I don't even see you, dog. There, I said it.
I don't even see you, dog.
Ooh.
Damn. John Cena over here.
Dude, there was this ongoing thing that, like, you know, whenever Wolfie was my lieutenant, he would be standing right fucking beside me, and I would always ask, well, where the fuck is
Hi, thanks for checking
I
in.
forget
I'm
his name
still
at
a
the
piece
time.
of garbage.
Wolfie, what was your name?
You don't even remember your name.
I don't even
He
remember.
said you
It
ain't
was
nothing to me,
Porter.
dog.
I
You
was
and
like,
your
where the fuck
characters.
is Porter? And Porter would be like, I'm right here. It was like, I don't know if it was the drinking. I was drinking then too.
He's
I think it was the drinking. I'm gonna blame the alcohol.
There, you heard it here, Wolfie.
Sorry, Wolfie.
So people are playing the Titanic song right now. Trippy says, "What the fuck, bro? You got to remember these things."
Trippy. Sorry. Okay.
So
it's hard for me to remember things.
Thoughts on the bilge pump? Think it's cool? I know it's.
I think it's gonna be really cool.
I think it's only meant for the new ship, though, right? Like it's not on any other ship. Just the
no.
new one?
I think it's gonna be an all ship thing. It's got to be. It's built
the
for
bilge
a
pump?
ship.
Yeah.
Somebody specifically said it's IndieMan specific, right? And I don't.
Is
The
it?
problem
I think
is I don't
Adrian
know
said that.
people's Twitch names. Was it Adrian?
I think
Adrian
Adrian
probably
said it,
know,
yeah.
bro.
Adrian said
Adrian's
it.
bound to have been there for testing.
Yeah. If it is just for the indie man, that kind of sucks.
It can go
But-
on all. It can go on all. 3 people have said. Adrian even said all ships. Bilge
Okay,
pump.
all ships. Okay,
Yeah, I
cool.
think it's all
All right, I
ships.
believe you.
Yeah,
It's-
see?
See
it's
what
law.
the only question I have is like, and this is what I'm wondering: is it going to be like one fixed thing, sort of like how the fireball heater was, or is it going to be like an actual blueprint that gets better? You know, like say for instance, like a regular blueprinted one, like just pumps out so much water, and then like a better one pumps out like 2 buckets worth, or like the next one pumps out 3 buckets worth. I don't fucking know, but I think that'd be cool as shit.
Hey, everybody in chat, it's Mel's birthday again. It was last week.
Happy
and it's
birthday,
someone
Mel.
else. Everyone say happy birthday,
Happy
Mel.
birthday, Mel.
It's gonna be a new thing on Blackmire After Dark. Just saying
Oh,
happy
she's
birthday,
pissed.
Mel. What's it called? And then thoughts on this is a big thing. I always forget to ask this question. I was mad I forgot to ask it to Trippy. I think I did ask it. Thoughts on the free levels to 50. No more grinding your ship.
Like it, like it. Kind of disappointed in it because here's the thing: is I loved doing that shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Like going out doing ship of the dam, but I see the goodness in it. You know what I mean? To get people out there, to get them ready. You know, that way if they do lose a ship, that's why you don't have to fret losing a ship, folks. Yeah, granted, it's resources, but you can be right back out there in no time. I mean, hell, come by and see us. We'll probably give you a fucking ship.
Do you want to know what I want to know, Dems? If like me and you don't level our ships and I just carry champagne bottles on my ship and we just start chucking them at each other until we level our ships. My ship's better than yours. Fuck you, take this one. Mine's better than yours.
I'm gonna bless your ship. Bless your child.
That's
You know,
interesting, Wolfie. If it's a gold dump, that'd be real interesting. Still worth it though, dude. I like them fucking bottles, dude. Because like you're still gonna do ships of the dam for patterns anyway.
Yeah, you have
right?
to. Yeah.
But now you're
Yeah.
just not gonna get your fucking plank pitched off in one volley early on. You know, you shouldn't be
That's
getting
how
hit by
I
them
train-
anyhow.
That's
right?
how I train my bosuns. I just go right next to a galleon ship of the damned, level 1. I'm like, if you can keep this ship afloat till it hits level 5, you're in.
He doesn't. It does not matter what we're doing. We could be going picking some things up, going for a trade. We're going out pirating, whatever the case may be. If he sees a group of ships of the dam, he won't say anything. He won't tell anybody to fire. He's just gonna go
right through it. Right through it.
actually, that clip that Court gave me that I've sent in is actually, it shows us actually leveling up a ship and how that can go wrong.
11-minute one.
Yeah, but Court, find the timestamp of whenever the shit hits the fan,
yeah.
and send that to me, and then I'll send it in. Either I'll
Might
tell
as
them
well
what
get rid of the
timestamp is.
character level 2. 0. Don't be saying that, bro.
Ugh.
115.
Can I
or
get a
150?
champagne level for my character? In which case, I'm down. I'm okay with that, dude.
So
Like,
then
there's no.
So here's the question: thoughts on
Oh, he's
having
good.
everybody the same level, or having people that like, because like this is the first season. I don't know if they're gonna do it, but last season people were doing, because you can't do the Power Stone Islands anymore because the stone doesn't go with you, so you can't grind the easy one to get to the hard ones. So people aren't going to be as high level this season.
Right. It's man, like So there's this thing I think about, right? When you eliminate a gameplay loop like leveling, right? What is it you just did to your game, right? Oh, you should just go out and RP. 3, 4 a.m. at night, early in the morning. There's no one to RP with. What do? You go level your character with like 2, 3 homies you have awake, right? Or you go find some creatures, or you
Go
go
kill a
farm
big
ships
pig.
in the dam.
Or you lead
Yeah,
a
you kill big
class
thing.
to the island and you just teach them how to stay in formation. And
You need to find something to do in those off hours, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
we did
the
Power
more things
Stones
take
last
away-
season. It was fun. I had tons of fun doing
Yeah.
it. Big pig. I fought the big pig all the time.
I think
Alright,
it's dangerous to take too many of those things away, dude. But like, I mean, I don't know.
It's still
I
it's still
sent
a
you
game.
the timestamp, by the way, on that
Nice.
video.
All right, thanks.
So you got that.
Do you know what I mean? And then I want to talk about one other thing, and I think Tony was there because I'm going to pull Tony into a conversation here.
Oh shit.
Tony, tell
What's up,
Duncan the one time that you were on his couch.
Oh,
I love that. I remember that.
dude.
I
So,
fucking remember
this
that
was-
shit.
It was 5.0, right?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah,
Yes,
so
sir.
me and Freebird, I think we fell off a ship, or you boarded our ship or something like that, and you took me and Freebird in as like captives, right? And
Yeah.
you guys were fighting another pirate company as we were sitting in like the interrogation room, I guess, and we're like,
I think it,
"Hey
what is
man,
that, my
can we come
captain's
out?"
quarters?
Yeah, your captain's quarters.
Yeah.
And
Dude,
we're
I
like,
always
"Hey,
did
can
up my
we
captain's
watch?"
quarters.
And you were like, "Yeah, I got a couch back here, man. Just sit on it." And we're like, we're pretty good cannoneers. He's like, "Well, probably got to just sit on the couch."
Enjoy the show, fellas. Enjoy the show.
Yeah, and we were sitting.
That couch was indestructible, so it was actually like the safest place for them to be.
Yeah, it was
What's
so
that fucking
funny,
couch?
dude. And then me and Freebird are talking to you, going, "You guys are doing great. Fucking psych 'em."
I think it's funny. I'm glad you guys didn't shoot cannons on his ship because he'd realize how good Blackmire cannoneers are, and he tried to take you like he took Saphira from me.
Listen. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Questions in there. Rogue says, "Question, Nile, can you guys move closer to the Cinders this season? You won't regret it, but not too close. I don't know. You want to lose a ship every night? I'll move closer.
Get them. Shots fired.
You tell Water to catch me outside. How about that?
Fucking 6 days in the future or in the past.
Yeah.
Or wait, I don't fucking remember. Like, oh god.
Here
Be like, I
is
shot those shots before I fucking signed into the server, fool.
Yeah. All right, so we got this clip lined up. We're gonna watch this clip.
Emotional damage.
Any day of the week. Hey, Water, I love fighting you too, man. You're a good fighter too. All right, let's get this. This is the clip of Corfucius looking like he's losing a ship here. So he's leveling a ship here. There's missing planks already. How many people are on the ship right now? Pretty quick.
Well, it's only like I think like 4 of us. Where we just made this ship, and we were finishing leveling it up. I'm off the helm. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, this is
You don't have a helm.
the helm glitch, or the like when you're on the helm and it breaks, and then you kind of go through the ship, right?
No.
I don't have any planks down here either.
You guys didn't bring anything with you. That's funny. We've done that before. You got a large chest though.
Yeah, this time like I lost my helm, so I was doing the glitch.
Yeah, the fall
I
through.
was
Yeah.
falling through the thing, so I was like, oh my god. Just gotta hear the banter between me and Court. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh my god.
I love how he's like casually walked through you twice as you're like holding on to the ship with your grapple.
We're going. Oh god.
What the fuck is happening?
This is not how this was supposed to go.
The panic right here. The panic right here.
Yes.
It's funny because everyone's laughing.
Oh yeah, we also had Duke shoot when he was playing the old lady on board.
Yeah.
For the peace weeks, bro, he just played like a
my
complete
God.
beaver.
Bucketing.
Yep.
Oh my god, this is how I
Oh, that water line.
It's not how you die. It's okay. Who didn't check the ship?
I'm waiting for the. Is it? Do you guys make it out of here? Is this a solid save?
What's crazy, okay, is I
He'll
don't
be okay, he'll be
remember.
okay.
I think we did save this ship
We're gonna get home.
because
I don't think they did, bro. I don't know.
Shh,
Well,
it's
no, because
okay.
Reggie jumps off trying to get to the other ship to go get another ship to repair this ship.
Jaspar's sleeping.
And I think by the time I woke up, we just kept bucketing and bucketing.
Mm.
And it was by chance that Neffy was already headed out toward us, past the island.
And Reggie's about to run out of steam.
Yeah, because right here we didn't have the resources to build a helm.
Yeah. So you don't have a helm.
Get over here, get over here.
So you don't have a helm, and you
Get the
don't
fuck
have
over here,
planks.
Get the fuck over here.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's funny. All right.
Oh yeah, he's already out of stamina. But anyway, like yeah, he comes back and we ended up saving the ship. And the whole time he was laughing at me, so I was like, "Fuck you, Reggie."
That's funny.
The only clip I could find, dude, was just of that 1v2 I had against Sinners and Rostad, whatever, Church of Baby Jesus. That's it, dude. I've lost everything else. I should really download this stuff next time.
Everybody always tells me to download it and put it on YouTube, and I never do it. And then I lose it, and then I'm like, shit, I should have downloaded it.
Right, bro, right.
I'm the same.
There's so
way.
many fights I wanted to rewatch too, dude. Yeah, fucking.
So many good ones too.
Well, we had.
Man.
Do you remember the fight that I think our first fight against you, Duncan, back in Blackmire days? I think we had you pinned against an island, and you guys were sandbarred. I think it was you. It was pretty late at night, and we were fighting the Navy for like the first or second time. And then
Was I drunk?
Yeah.
I think it was on the. I think the boat was the Apache.
Yeah.
I think is what we fought.
So Gravel
I
has
love
a
that fucking
great
boat.
question. What could be done for the pirates to be afraid of the Navy instead of pirates always going after the Navy? I have an answer. The ones that intentionally go after the Navy repeatedly, blow them the fuck up.
Yeah, the
Hang
Navy.
'em.
The Navy should be aggro as fuck on those guys.
Yeah. That's my answer, and I think that would put a precedent out there towards all the pirates. Like, okay, if you
You're
poke
right
the
back.
bear,
Yeah.
you can get clawed up, kind of thing.
I think
I got you one better, bro. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, I want to hear it. Go ahead.
Pirates just, a lot of pirates, what are they missing? Something to lose, right? Oh, I lost my ship. I lost my island. I don't care, right? Fuck it, dude. Haha, XD. Pirates should be like a big faction. It should be like a fleshed out thing, and you have resources. You have things. You go to Pirate Island, right? Pirate Island has pirate sails. It has pirate cannons. It has pirate stuff that only you as a pirate can buy because you're a pirate and you have this access to this black market. And it has, useful stuff like nothing OP, right? But similar to like, just common blueprints you can pick up.
Sure.
Unique cosmetics, things you as a pirate can own, right? And if at any point in time, any, pirate with black sails goes after the Navy, right? The Navy gets a little closer to finding this pirate island, right? And if the pirates like fucking just, we're attacking the Navy. Well, the Navy attacks the pirate island and they kill your vendors. They kill your resources. They kill that valuable thing that you can't have anymore because in RP, you've entered those consequences.
That would add a very interesting element to the pirate out of all pirates, because depending on how companies use that island, other pirates will look at it like, hey, this is a threat to our way of life, and will go after each other, which I think would also help kind of, well, maybe, I don't know, because it's a hard line of trying to make a us and them kind of thing when it comes to pirates as a faction, because you don't want them all to be like, hey, what's up, bro? I totally got this from the supermarket today when I robbed whatever, right?
Fair.
You kind of want them to,
well,
at least
pirates can get
ideally,
if pirates could have a resource too, I think that would kind of help. If you had a pirate only resource you could gather and you carry it on your ship, and another pirate has, you both know you both have it, right? You have to be.
You know what the answer would be? If the pirate island produced mythos for pirates, because it's really the only way that they can get it, right?
You gotta go pick up your stash of mythos for your group or whatever,
Like-
and people are gonna want to take that from you
Right.
on your way out. Other pirates.
You know, like something along that.
The content right that would make itself, bro. That's plenty of excuse for just about any company. It's like, oh, they have.
Oh, also
more mythos.
execute motherfuckers is what I would say.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I don't know what goes on behind Navy's lines. I don't know how often this happens. But if someone's got to pee and you get captured again and you're brought into there, I would say
Stick to your rules
Like,
and kill them.
yeah, off with their heads, man. Well, I can make a whole segment on this show about that. And so,
Yeah, but
you know,
at the same
it'd
point, we're
be-
different though, right? Like we expect to die,
Right.
where other people expect to have like companies out there expect to fight the Navy every single day because that's their fun. That's their their role play is I am the best pirate who has the best ship who can fight the Navy and win. When in reality, it's not like it's not maybe not realistic, but that's their role play. And we've talked about this before, Chubbs, where I can't necessarily tell people no to their style of role play. Do I agree with it? Absolutely not. Right. But like at the other point, like I don't do relationship RP, but other people do. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So like in that kind of sense. I do think the Navy needs to go hard on people though. Like if the Navy should be like a sleeping beast, right? If Dems and Turbo was still in the Navy and Dems came back and one of his ships got sunk, the Navy should scout the island and that pirate company should know they're coming. Right? There should be no messages behind the scenes. You should know the moment you sink a Navy ship, you're public enemy number one and you're hunted. You're being hunted.
Mhm.
If you can hide, I would actually, the rule shouldn't be I have to let you know when I declare war. Once you sink a Navy ship, I think if you can survive for 48 hours, your notorious level can go down again because they forgot about you. But for 48 hours, you're kill on sight. I think that'd be cool.
If you really want the Navy to destroy your shit, just take hostages and keep them.
That's true. They'll beat you home.
The thing is I wish that pirates and people like that could actually take hostages and keep them for like a day. I wish it wasn't no like actual rule of how long you can have them
I would
in
assume
custody.
if like you can get OOC consent from the person because that's
Yeah.
a cool arc. Like I remember when I
Exactly.
first started joining the dark side, I got captured by what was it? There was some guy that played like a Spaniard and had a huge pirate crew, like booty something. Anyway, I get basically kidnapped, and it was like day 3 playing Atlas forever, and I loved it. I was there, I think, for maybe half a day, but going to think about it, like, yeah, I think that would be a pretty cool story arc. Not only for the people that are involved, that not only the captive but the captors, could be pretty neat. So maybe that needs to be looked at.
I think a lot back in the day, like not trying to keep everything too realistic, pirates would take like hostages all the time, and then that's how they would make most of their money, right? Because they would sell their hostages back to the people.
But not only
owned
that
them,
too,
so-
like they would force them to join the crew or die.
Yeah.
And that's how like they got that's how they kept people like employed on their ship.
Yep.
Servitude.
And yes, that's when it was with the Roughnecks.
So
So
my answer. So I have a couple. We're gonna wrap up here shortly. We're hitting about an hour, 2 hours and 30 minutes here, and it's getting. Some people are tired. Whatever. I don't care. It's up to you guys if you guys want to end. But my last question, as a privateer, what would you change about the blue to help you with roleplay? Because I've touched on this before, where I think that that privateers should be treated more like bounty hunters. That way, that you could have a bounty board at the pirate island and a bounty board at the Navy island, and then the PLU just like you can go through the PLU to get like a registered one by a civilian. But if me as a pirate or somebody wanted to put more heat on another pirate company, I could put it on the bounty board over in the pirate place, and then you're being hunted by pretty much everybody.
I would say if you want to improve the blue, bring back Paige.
Paige D'Artagnan?
Yeah.
We got beef
She knew
now.
what she was doing.
The face you made, Nightly.
We
with
got
that. What
beef,
did you say?
Bro. Listen, man. I got.
I'll
nothing-
tell
I-
you. On the, yeah,
I
go
got
ahead, go
nothing
ahead.
against Paige OOC, but her character was so up your guys' butt that whole season and favorited you
Yeah.
that it was outrageous.
Yeah.
You liked her because she liked you. She hated us.
90% of the reason why the PLU
Linda.
got bombed by us was because of Paige
Linda, listen.
D'Artagnan's character.
Linda, listen. Linda, listen. Look, it's not our fault that she was on our boat whenever we first met. And then we were like, you know, talking to this woman whenever we got into our first little argument on the sea.
Yeah.
You know, she was right there. She's seen the whole thing. She's like, I don't know why they are talking like that, like this, out of character for them.
It was
You
not.
know?
It was not out of character. You were
No, it
a
was-
corrupt regime under the Navy, and
Yeah,
she
yeah,
was
yeah.
and she
And-
was
and-
the
and
living
character in
proof.
our
She
eyes.
was the living proof. She was on your ship going like, "Hi, I'm with the Royal Navy. I don't sail with anybody else other than Strongar."
Yeah, and we would go in there and we would have like this report that I would work off as like I was playing Rufus Cornelius and I had this report and I spent hours on it and we bring it in and be like, look how good we are, da 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 da. And she's like, well, you're not strong arm, but here's pens at the door, and here's some
Exactly.
glasses of milk, and have a nice day.
And the best thing was that she said to our this is how round it was, right? She said to our faces, everybody gets contracts at the same time. We come to you guys, we meet you the first night. Do you guys happen to get contracts first? We get first picks of every contract that comes into the Navy.
We're just like,
Get the
damn,
fuck
that was part of our
outta here,
selling
bro.
point to get you into the fucking red network. You know, like, yeah, of course we're gonna be getting all these contracts. Like, we want to give them out.
It was marketing. It was marketing.
Come on.
Every privateer had first picks. You just had to show up. We just phrased it cleverly.
Yeah, and then like it's not my fault that I whispered the fine print at the end. Okay.
No, it was that. What was his
Yeah.
name? What was his name? The guy that goes, oh, by the way, if you sink a ship in our seas, we're gonna tax you 15% of it.
Oh shit, that's great.
That's strong arms were pirates
Yeah.
at the end. They were
I
always
think the
pirates.
privateer office did a lot of job, dude. The Blue changed a lot rapidly, right?
Yeah.
Like back to back. And
Yeah.
then like ultimately the biggest downfall was just that they didn't have enough people, bro. The position as it is not attractive enough to people to have them come in there. A lot of them just were in and out or just used as a stepping stone. And you had people who were dedicated to the office that were all about it, right?
Mhm.
But there were very few that were like that. So the office needs to be more attractive, in my opinion, right? You need to find a way to make privateer office more interesting for people to be able to be in and to role play around. Because ultimately it's so limited. If there's no privateers around, what do you do? Nothing. You just fuck off on a boat. And then you never see any privateers because you're not at the office.
Yeah.
Right. So you need to find some kind of happy medium. In my opinion, right, they should blend the privateer office with something else. The Marines and the privateer office should blend together, or they should blend some
I would
other.
say blend it with trade.
It is blended with trade, but just not
Well,
fully. And then it's
yeah,
like
it should be
how would I
fully.
put it? I think that's like a bad idea, right? Because you're giving people who stand around role playing more stand around role play. I think it should be like half and half, right?
Well,
Like
that's
I
what
trade-
have an
it is,
idea.
Like, those are the people that love to stand around role play.
That's fair. That's fair.
What if it was a? Because I guess, well, no, because you still want it to be part of the Navy entity, right?
Well, you don't have. I thought about
What
that
if
too,
it-
bro. I think I know what you're thinking of. That's a good idea too. I
What
think.
if it wasn't?
Like its
Let's
own
say if like
faction.
y'all know the streamer Grampy. Y'all know who he is? Who does the Royal Society?
Yeah. We love
Yeah, I
that
think
guy
so.
here. He's dope.
I think that would be almost a perfect neutral ground because they usually run like the scientific branch of His Majesty's, empire. Not necessarily part of the Navy, but what if it was like on an island separate from the Navy?
Like a privateer faction almost.
In
I
a-
don't know.
in
It needs a lot of
sense.
oversight. But you
It
still
would.
need somewhere there.
You
to-
would.
to keep
Yeah,
it
yeah,
going.
yeah.
Just,
you
just
have
think
someone
about the
really
RP
dedicated.
opportunity though, right? Like if the Navy doesn't.
Oh,
end
it's a
up-
good idea.
It doesn't end up
I think if
paying
you
the
had somebody
privateer.
who's
You have a
down.
rogue privateer faction that wants to fight the Navy because they're not getting paid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. You just need to. You would need to assign somebody who would be down for that. That
Mhm.
kind of a job is like it needs a person to be there, like
Yeah,
like a key for the whole, so to speak.
I-
Mel makes a good point too. There is if every PLU member got assigned to like a different privateer company,
Mhm.
that would be fucking wicked, right? So if we obviously had D'Artagnan for reasons, just randomly picking D'Artagnan, I guess would be ours. But you guys would have also, yeah, just out of a hat.
I get your point.
If you guys also had a fucking designated PLU person you went to pick up and they were just your ride along, right? You had
That'd
if
be
people
cool.
had like a privateer ride along that they look forward to every week, that's more content for the privateers, right? And it's that's the big thing. I think it's the more you can do to make the job more interesting, more attractive to people, the better. Right, for sure.
I do applaud the people in the Plu because it is hard, right? Because like you don't want to sit on the island a lot, but the moment you step off, you might miss that 5-person company that really wants to be a privateer. And then they don't see you. And like every time I go there, you're never there, and then they never.
We
really
wanted
get
more interaction with the Plu and all that. Like Mel even built up like a second dock area for them. But you know, like as a privateer, you're supposed to have a place for them to be able to resupply.
Right.
But not only that, like she set up like a cool house for them to stay in if they wanted to stay the night. And we never really got that, and it kind of sucks.
We tried to have more interaction with the Plu too, but you guys were having a freaking pizza party when we tried to blow it up.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, bro, they cucked us on the pizza party, bro. They didn't even.
Pizza party.
It was
yeah, they
crazy,
tried to
bro.
fuck us.
Somebody died, and there was like a funeral. I think it was for a pirate. I think there was a pirate funeral on the day of the pizza party, bro. And they're like, "Sorry, everyone's busy with the funeral for pirates." And I'm like,
that was I think that was a lot of controversy in the server at the time because it didn't make RP sense for a Navy member to go to a pirate funeral.
Bro, and we were in character like, wait, are we angry about this? Is this a huge diss to us? Hold on. Yeah, we're just
they owed us a fucking
like in
pizza
reality,
party.
like Trippy dies all the time. You don't need to go to his funeral.
Yeah,
that
honestly.
often.
Yeah.
Like
No. Yeah.
every time he
he's-
boards our ship, he dies. We don't funeral him.
Just
after
give
that.
him like 20 minutes or 20 hours, and he'll be right back there with the girls that are on top of the ship's wheel, and it'll be like,
That's right.
you know, fine.
Ben actually stayed behind on the island for the party.
we didn't see him, bro. Did we? No, we definitely. Who would
But
remember?
Scott had wrong information. And told you.
Oh no,
man, Scott.
And then right after that, no pizza party. Then the PLU gets bombed. You know,
Yeah.
like, shitty
Oh,
day.
Did we try? We tried for so long to bomb the PLU at that point, man. We were there for an hour.
I think we were
I
there for an hour.
I remember watching you stream that. And I was like, all right, are they gonna go?
Yeah.
I was like, is this it?
You're
Is this
sitting there like,
Crouched
you're sitting there
waiting.
like, is this it? And we're sitting here like, just fucking leave, Strong Arm, so we could bomb this fucking place.
Yeah, well like I wasn't there, so like I think I was off like doing something or another. I don't know, but I believe like the rest of the crew went
yeah,
and was right there on like said, "Fuck it, we're just gonna have a picnic party,
yeah.
like right here," and yeah.
To
like,
be honest with you, I wish I was the one that was the lookout instead of holding a bomb because I would have sent them while you were having the picnic. Because that would have
I wasn't there.
the pure
You
chaos
bumped
alone.
Turbo,
You
though.
guys sitting there like, oh, Paige D'Artagnan and the Navy, we're so corrupt together. Explosive barrels. You know what I mean? would have just been so good. But
Oh man.
I think we're gonna wrap up here. I think we're hitting about an hour and 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's almost midnight
Alright.
my time. I want to thank you guys, Dems and Turbo, for coming on again.
Dude, absolutely.
Everybody in chat, if you guys will go to below, is their Twitch chats. If you would go to their Twitch chat and hit that follow button. If you really like them, hit that subscribe button. I'm assuming Dems, you're going to be live day 1.
Yeah.
So Dems
More
will be
than
live
likely.
day 1. Which, by the way, chat, we are pretty much 5 days away now from 6.0. Turbo, you going to be live day 1, or is that one of your 3 days?
I'll be testing my internet. I'll be see how it does. Right, if it's going well, I'll stream more often. I wanted to say, Nightly, before we end, bro, thanks for having us on, and I love your BMad poster you have behind you, bro. That thing's adorable, dude. I love that.
Oh, my daughter made this. It
Yeah,
actually
it's
says, it
fabulous.
also says subscribe under it too.
Does
Hell
it?
yeah.
It says subscribe.
So
Good
my
note,
Yeah,
daughter's
subscribe-
obsessed with
subscribe to this,
my daughter's
guys.
obsessed with this Minecraft streamer, and I told her that I was doing a talk show, and she's like, "You need a subscribe button." Like, what's her name? And I said, first off, I should be your number 1 person to watch. Why are you watching some other person? But it's some really good looking chick that plays Minecraft, so I can't, I don't play Minecraft.
It is what it is.
So,
That's too funny.
so
He has played Minecraft once.
I have not played Minecraft. Yo, Bali, thank you for the 20 gifted subs, man. I appreciate you.
There you
brother.
go. Hell
And
yeah.
Monster Mel, thank you, Monster Mel. Thank you for subscribing with Twitch Prime. But basically, chat, this is going to be happening at least, I think for a while, we're going to do it once a week. So that just to kind of how it goes, we're going to have Dems and Turbo back on. I loved having you guys on. Plus, I think the Captain's Corner is going to be freaking awesome. Right? And I can't wait to see some of your guys' clips as well. I also want to let you guys know that we do have another episode lined up for the 20th, which is the Sunday. And I want you guys to get hyped up for this because we have Navy High Command coming in for a special daytime version of BMad It's going to be the 20th at 2 p.m. Okay, 20th at 2 p.m. is when we're going to have the Navy High Command. We have Adrian and Scott in a box coming to hang out with us. I have to do some convincing for them to show, not Adrian, but probably Scott to show his face. Right? So I'll let Dems and Turbo decide. Do you guys want to see the Sinners teaser video? They're all freaking out in chat because they want us to watch their video.
Sure, yeah.
Or do we just go, hey,
Yeah,
Sinners, you want to know how it feels like to not get anything at the end? End the show.
Eat it, bitch.
Man, I was for it, but now I'm not anymore. You convinced me, Tyler. You convinced me. They should come on the show. They should come on and support BMad, bro. You should be out here. Get your people out here. Hype up the trailer. Get them out here, bro.
Yeah, you got, like I said, water. I know you're in that group, right? Send me a message. We'll hook you guys up for the show. We got Court Fuchsius and Betty also on the docket to come to one of our shows. And like I said, if you want, you can send it to Tony or somebody, and we can watch your hype video. And then I hope you realize I'm going to watch it and I'm going to critique the fuck out of it because you're wanting me to watch it right now. In negative and positive standpoints. But you got to send it to one of the mods because you can't post a link in chat.
Yeah. I just want to say I look forward to all the roleplay and streaming. And appreciate you having us on here nightly and Chubbs and those working behind the scenes. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, Tony working hard.
Oh yeah,
I'm trying
they don't
today,
even have
boys.
a video. They don't even have a video, so they know how to cuckold everybody. They say, "Hey man, we got a teaser video." Psych, we don't got nothing.
Is there no fucking teaser video?
No teaser video. You want to know why? It's them. They don't know shit.
God damn it. Damn. Oh yeah, y'all! Don't forget if you like strong arm, I I got a strong arm hat in my merch store.
Hell yeah!
Go buy that shit. I'll only make $1 off of it. So buy my shit.
I don't think I saw your teaser video. I saw your guys's. I think it was your 5.5 video, your Sinners 5.5 video that was in your Discord. Hint, hint. I have people in your Discord.
That's our lead investigator.
I just want to know: is the trailer a lie or is it real?
Yeah, probably. I'm pretty sure it's a lie. They don't have a video.
2 p.m. Yeah.
But yeah, so
I'm sad now.
There is a video. Well then, Rogue, send it to me on Discord. All right. Good night, Pam. Thanks for hanging out. Like I said, guys, again, thank you for all the subs, all the follows tonight. Hit my boys Dems and Turbo with some love. You'll be seeing them back on the show probably more than once because, I think it'll be a lot of fun. We'll have you guys on with Trippy and them at 1.2.
Oh, that's going to be great.
Oh, that'd be a good one. Hell yeah.
But remember, save the date, guys. Next Sunday at 2 p.m. EST, we're going to be talking to the Navy High Command. It's only going to be an hour segment because they're so busy getting everything ready for the Navy, and I want to wish everybody a happy first day of 6.0 on Friday. I hope it's really good for everybody. It's going to be good for everybody else. And yeah, I'll catch you guys. We'll catch you guys later. I'm gonna actually replay the song that they played because it was actually pretty ballin'. And I will catch you guys later.